Welcome to Virtual Mimics and Gimmicks, where a bunch of idiots pretend to know what they're doing and in the process torment me with their vicious mockery. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and player punching bag Anastasia. Playing Troy, our half-wood elf ranger with a taste for bear blood, is Sean. As Magnus, our dark and brooding tiefling rogue, is Clint. We have Ryan playing Viren, our furball cleric who prefers liquid courage, and Tatiana playing as Poofers, our wily tabaxi barbarian. And finally, we have Amanda playing Eravir, our sexy high elf sorcerer with hair and heart of gold. We ready for a recap? Of course we are. Let's get going. Last time, on Dungeons & Dragons Fall Z, our heroes reached the exhilarating conclusion of the Salamancing. After defeating outbursts of wild magic wielded by the oblivious and carefree Salamander, our heroes fell and splashed back into reality, where they found not one, not two, not three, but 4 Salamancers. Just as our heroes were about to begin their questioning, the Salamancers burst into confetti with one last magic, leaving behind one beer thief composed of pure magical energy. Shortly thereafter, the party returned to Red Cliff, where they had some free time before setting out on their next quest. One time skip later, our heroes were on their way. The mission is to escort one of King Corn's designated ambassadors, Giovanni Crows, to the newly discovered island of Bird People, where Giovanni will establish diplomatic relations with the new civilization. The journey to Kenkua Island was peaceful, though a few of our heroes suffered some PTSD flashbacks when they boarded the boat. Upon arriving at the island, they were greeted by Click Clack the conductor, who led them to an amazing music-powered train. There were free snacks, and the heroes celebrated. Everything was great, until our heroes dreamt of spiders and woke up to a murdered Giovanni. Now they are the prime suspects on this train of strangers and a murderer. What awaits our heroes in the story of the murder on the Kenkua Express? Let's find out now on Dungeons & Dragons Fall Z.
Yeah, you got through it. Yeah.
All right.
You did
Talking is so hard. Okay.
Words are hard.
So, like I said, you guys woke up to your one person you were supposed to protect being murdered. Standing over the corpse was your good friend Hugh, and there were several other people in the room. There were a few crewmates from the Coup crew, as well as several members of the CAW, the Crow Agent Watch, which are kind of the peacekeepers or sort of like police force, as far as you can tell. After you had left that murder scene, rather than rushed back towards your rooms, you were confronted by Lock Kid Detective, who basically said he really suspects you, but if you can help him find a way to clear your name, then he'll believe your innocence. And that's where you are right now. One other really important point is you guys all have missing time. You had passed out drunk and dreamt of spiders controlling you like puppets, as well as when you woke up, you found spiders in your room. That's where we are. You are currently, I believe, in your room with Lock, where you had discovered that the red smears and handprints on the wall were not blood, but were, in fact, some of the fruity drinks available on the train. Investigation, start!
Okay, Lock. You laid it out for us, but I'm gonna lay it out for you. It's only been 2 minutes in game time, but like a week in real time. So, we've got the conductor, an eccentric dude with an interesting accent. We have us, the badasses who are totally innocent. We got the Coup crew and the Union President Cuckoo, who's been in a nasty mood lately. We've got Hugh Man, who is super sus. And then we have the police people, the CAW leader Crane, who I didn't write down any information on, but is clearly also sus. So, I think it would be very prudent of us to try and figure out where we have been for the last hour.
Yeah.
Well,
What were in those drinks, by the way? That's pretty sus as well.
that is a good question.
Because let's be honest, we're pretty good at putting them down on a pretty regular basis. Not sure if we should be proud of that or
we
not.
lost our DM.
Uh-oh.
Our internet just went out.
Oh no.
Ruh-roh.
That doesn't mean we can't discuss, though.
Now it's important to discuss all the top secret stuff. Oh wait, shh.
I'm back!
She's back. Shh. Everybody shh.
Sorry.
It's
All
probably
right.
in the wrong spot.
Oh yeah. They all are. I'm gonna make some
musical chairs.
adjustments.
She's
They
now
all are.
Magnus.
Keep going. I'm gonna make my adjustments.
Is the music still going? Because I have to restart.
It is
It's still going.
Where did you drop out?
I said, I know. You said, I know that we just went over this 2 minutes ago, but here we go again, and then I dropped.
Oh,
I went over the 5 people, which are
You read it.
it's us, the Ka, the conductor. Let's see here. Crap, I need to bring up the list again. I have such a short memory.
like that of a bird.
Hugh, yes, Hugh and the Q crew, Union people are our
Those,
main suspects.
that is everyone that Lock listed. Yes.
All right, Lock, can you give us information on why any of these people would want to kill the guy that we were supposed to not let get killed?
Well, I actually think that is going to be what lets us solve this mystery. If we can find a motive, then we can find the killer.
So I think we should clear ourselves then, because we have no motive to kill this guy.
Well, of course you have a motive. Everyone knows that the mainlanders are violent people who like to kill each other for sport.
I mean, I
What?
can't really argue against that. You're not wrong. But is
I
that
mean-
really motive or just
See-
nature?
It was our job to keep him alive, so by killing
Right.
him, we're in big trouble.
And
You
if we
gotta
were
mute
to
yourself.
And if we were to kill him, why do it here and now? We've had a lot of opportunity all the way up to now,
So much opportunity.
I mean,
including on a boat where we could have just dumped him in the water and been done with it. It just
Listen,
doesn't make
I
sense.
don't know the mind of a killer, but I do know one thing. You are all very suspicious and you all have it in you. You've told me your stories. I have no doubt that you are the serious...
Hold on, wait. I told you, sir. What did I tell you exactly?
You told me all of the adventures you've been on and all the people and things that you've killed. Maybe you have some subconscious bloodlust that possesses you when you're unconscious. How am I supposed to know?
I was very intoxicated, and you should assume that all of that is just a story I made up. I'm a very good drunk storyteller. I tend to exaggerate.
Lock.
But you started telling your story when you were still sober.
What is the drinking
I
age on
did.
this island? Have you tried these drinks before?
Oh, I don't partake in the no-no juice.
Well,
Fuck.
these
What was
were
your
very strong.
what was your relationship with the recently deceased?
I have no idea who that is. I just know that he's an outsider like all of you.
Why did you want him killed?
Why would I want him killed? I'm a detective.
Passed the first test.
But
While
I will
this is going
say-
on, I'm gonna go check out those glasses actually in the cart, like next to it, right? Like we're not that far, like our room and the
From
social
like
cart.
the dining cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But real quick, he says, but I will say that this is a great case and it will help me make a name. So I'm excited to get started. Let's go.
Wait. If
Maybe
this
you
is
wanted
such a great.
case.
What did you say?
I said maybe since you couldn't find a great case to make your name, you murdered this guy to get a great case.
Lock
they get
is
solved.
now
Are you
the number
accusing
one suspect.
A child and champion of justice of murdering a complete stranger for my
No.
own
Well-
personal gain?
Of
Well,
course not.
technically, Poofers
Yes.
is also a child, and we've all heard this story.
And I'm about the
We'll leave that
intelligence
last
of a
part out.
child.
Well, I know that I'm innocent, but you still have to clear your names. Of everyone on this train, I still think you're the most suspicious.
Hold on. Okay, let's take a look at this no juice here. Either you magic people want to take a look and see if this has been like spiked with anything other than alcohol.
I have detect poison and disease.
You could also
Uh,
detect magic.
Okay. I mean, you can cast both of those ritually, I believe.
Yeah.
So you spend a good chunk of time observing these drinks. In the end, you conclude that there is nothing wrong with these drinks. They are just really strong. Apparently, birds have a much higher
guys-
tolerance.
Guys, I'm sorry to say, but we just drank too much.
This is
Cooper
impressive for
then
you.
grabs like a drink that's half empty to her side and takes it in and starts drinking. That is excellent news, Barry. Thank you. These are delicious.
Just like hit it out of her.
No juice.
I just hid away from poopers. No more no juice for you. Or any of us.
So, Lock, can you go over what happened in the last hour? Where did you see us go?
Oh boy, that was 1 week ago, and it's really hard for me to remember. But as I recall, you had passed out drunk, and then all of you had wandered off, swaying left to right, leaving chaos in your wake, south towards where the body was found. And I didn't see anything from any of you in that time for about an hour.
Can you remind
we
us where
went
the body was
south.
found?
Yes, south down the train towards the cargo carts where the body was found.
So then maybe we should move that way and see if
Leave
there's
at
any
the
signs
same
of it.
time?
Yeah, you
Or-
left as a group.
That would.
I don't know what happened once you left this car, though. It's at this point that one of the Ka enter the room, and imagine like a little like exclamation point flew out of his head, and he like comes over to you and says, "What are all of you doing out of your rooms? There was a strict lockdown order."
Yeah. What are you gonna do about
There was
that
also
one?
no punishment for not locking down.
Well, we birds are pacifists, so we cannot force you back to your rooms. However, we will write a demerit, and you will face consequences such as fines and other revocations
we-
of privileges once we get back to the city.
What if we solve this murder before then?
It is our duty to solve the murder.
Well, what if we help you? Or what if we
Leave
just
it.
do it anyway?
Leave the murder to the murder of crows.
All right, you guys can go do your investigation. We're just gonna head this way then.
Well, I would appreciate it if you would go back to your room.
No.
Hey, Crow number 3. Remember that time? Like we've had some good times, haven't we? You know, us talking about my calves and my dead family. I mean, I think we relate on a
I
very.
think you have me mistaken for someone else.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think you're right. Is there any questions you want to ask? Do you want me to give you some kind of numbers or something? And then I start waving. I start waving like everyone to start like go.
We go.
Okay, yeah, he approaches you and says, "Well, there are some numbers I'm interested in obtaining from you, fellow passenger. As we are fellow passengers, it is common to exchange significant dates in our lives. What would you say is your favorite date, such as the birth date of a loved one?"
I don't know this realm's date system.
If only we had a calendar.
But January, March. Whatever the March 14th. Because that's 314.
Yes.
3.14.
This is an interesting number that you have chosen. My favorite date is also March 14th.
Oh, that's fantastic. What other numbers would you like to talk about? And then this keeps going and going and going, and then people are
Yeah.
going the other way.
All right. Where are the rest of you and Lock going?
I suppose we are going to be heading in the same, try and mimic the path that we would have taken from the dining car to where the body was found, and we're going to be looking for hints of our destruction along the way.
Was that
So-
that was near where his cargo? Where you said it was near the cargo area, right? Where his luggage was.
Yes. So kind of. Let me remind you of the train structure. You have the lead car, the administrative car, kind of that whole piloting area. Then you have a staff car, followed by the kitchen car, 2 social cars, 2 residential cars, another social car, 2 cargo cars, and then the engine car. The body was found in the northernmost cargo car.
Are you guys
Can you
thinking what I'm
repeat that
thinking?
so I can write the
I'm
Yes,
thinking
is-
state-dependent memory.
There's a lead car, a staff car, kitchen car, 2 social cars, 2 residential cars, another social car, 2 cargo, and then the engine. And the body was found in the northernmost cargo car, and you had spent most of your time in the southernmost social car. Or not, the second of the northern social cars.
So while this is all being recorded, I'd like to break away from the car by using my duplicate self to initially stand right on top of me. And then I'm going to slowly back away so that the car agent can't see the real version of me disappearing. So then the entire time, my illusion's just doing this.
Can you roll a stealth check with advantage?
Sure.
That's amazing.
Roll. Let's roll again. Oh, yeah. Also, we now have this new dice roller on top of our screen. So now you guys can see what we're doing.
Except for me. All right.
That's 20.
We need to roll again because we tied.
Oh. Okay.
Oh man.
Sure, we tied.
15.
Question mark.
Okay. So you do successfully peel away. The bird continues questioning an unresponsive target, but it doesn't seem to take much note of it and just kind of like keeps trying different questions, stuff like that.
I'm giving it its dream of just constant questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you leave that dining car, you immediately enter the first of the residential cars. And this area is most of the other passengers, kind of like resting areas, as well as Hugh's room.
Wait, Hugh,
He gets a room?
the dandy has a room?
Yeah.
The cardboard stand-up has a room. Got it.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, actually, let's go in there.
He is our number one suspect at the moment.
He was at the scene of the crime.
I mean,
With the
you've
letter
done it.
opener that killed the ambassador.
Okay. Anyways, just to let you know, the other car has the remaining passengers as well as yours, which means that the conductor and crew don't have rooms that they would hang out in the staff room and everything, but the car do not have any rooms either. Okay. So, you make your way to Hugh's room. You pull on the door. It's locked. It's a metal door. Kicking it might hurt.
To try and
Magnus,
slide it
you're
forcefully.
up.
You slide it and it sticks in place because it's a locked door.
I mean, you're more than welcome to give it a shot, Poofers, if you want.
I just did. It did nothing. Your turn.
All right. Hold on. Hold my beer.
I hold his beer and start drinking it.
Wow, guys, this room looks humongous.
The kind of tropical scent that permeates the air all the time is giving the beer a sort of like illusory fruity flavor.
Fruity note which lingers on the tongue.
Fancy. I got a 20.
Okay, that is enough. The door swings open, and inside here you see a typical kind of room. There's a few bunks, but there is a whole collection of luggage in here, also painted on wood as well.
I jump in. Gotcha. Wait. You?
There's no response, but Troy, when you turn around to face the party again, you see around the corner, kind of like the wall, the door, so right here, inside the room, is the dog, the Pomeranian you had seen earlier, and it's just staring at you.
Oh, hi, doggy.
I'm gonna take a look around this room, see if I find anything in between the cushions there.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna look around to see if I
Alright.
find anything that would be out of the ordinary.
Hey,
I will
Barry,
take-
you want to detect any kind of magic or anything that's...
I'll take an
Around here?
investigation check with advantage from one of you, so you're helping each other.
I'll do it. That is a 15.
Okay. Before you take a look around the room and you see on some of the walls there are some reddish smears, much like the ones that you had seen in your room.
Is it weird
But
to
it-
anybody else that somebody was this messy?
In addition to that, there is a wooden lockbox on a desk in here, which is painted similarly to the luggage, but instead of 2D like those, this is in fact 3D. It's an actual box.
I open it.
It doesn't open, but you
I
lift.
bust it open.
Okay, let's just skip it then. Can I get a strength check?
Hey, Barry, take a look while they're doing this if anything's magical in this.
I don't know
place.
why it rolled with advantage, but it's 15.
Okay, 15 is not enough to shatter this box.
Lucky
Can
we
I-
know somebody with a lockpick set.
Oops.
It's almost like if I could have like a chance to explain what else is there is about the box, then we could like move on.
Is there like a key?
When you lift the box up, there's a paper underneath it that says pick in order or not at all. And let me tell you what else there is. There are 5 switches on the front of this. And above each is written a word. The first lock's message. Actually, does anyone speak Dwarvish?
I do.
Troy, for
Okay.
some inexplicable
Sup-
reason, speaks
Clearly,
Dwarvish.
all this studying.
Surprisingly, with my vast knowledge and huge brain,
Does
So
anyone speak
educated.
Orcish?
Then we should not have been
I think
surprised
I
when he did a
actually speak
hotness
orc.
check on the dwarves since he
Let me
speaks
see
it.
here.
You know what I'm saying?
sorry, what did the note say underneath? Pick in order, what? Or not at all?
Yep.
How is not spelled? Is it spelled N-O-T?
It is spelled, yes, it is spelled that way.
So
Okay.
pick and order are not at all.
Or.
Or not.
The first
Is
lock
everything spelled
says-
literally?
I'm putting
Yes.
this in player notes, by the way, so you guys
Okay.
can see it when
Okay.
I'm done typing.
We should.
Let's get the puzzle out.
Yeah, okay, do it.
So, Dwarvish. Now,
Okay. The first in Dwarvish, above the first lock, says 2 or 4. The second lock says in Goblin, which I know Poofer speaks, 1 or 4 or 5. The third lock says in Orcish, 6. The fourth lock says in Common, 3. And the final lock says in Elvish, 1 or 2 or 4.
Okay, guys, I just posted that in our
Okay.
player notes. So, We
Actually,
have this
there's
spot.
one more thing. I sorry, I forgot to one more detail. The second lock has an additional message that says "Never trust a goblin," and the third lock has an additional message that says "Orcs can't count."
okay. Never
And
trust the goblin,
welcome-
and orcs can't.
and these are like locks, like something I would pick, or like you
no,
said
they're
switches.
like switches. They're
Okay.
switches. Sorry, I called them locks, but they're
And-
switches.
Like, is the way the switch is set up, like if I push it up, it would go to 2, and if I push it down, it would go to 4 or something?
No, it's just up and down. There's just like numbers that are written over each of them,
Oh, okay.
so you have
Okay.
to hit them in a certain order.
Here's the thing. I think we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, there's a 6 here, and it says orcs can't count.
So that's got to
So
be our
that's-
5.
Probably. Well, we also have 5. 1 or 4 or 5. Never trust a goblin. So something's
Oh.
funky with that one. So the goblin one's the only one with a 5.
But you're
Number
not
4
supposed
is
to
a 3,
trust them.
and I guess we can trust number 4. So number 4's got to go third, because that's 3. And we can guarantee that the first one's going to be 2 or 4.
So, what if we went, if we know that the orcs can't count, so we know it's obviously not the 6, and we're not supposed to trust the goblin, so we're not thinking that it's going to be 1, 4, or 5. So that means it would probably, number 2 would have to be a 2 or a 3, right? If you're not supposed
It
to trust
could,
the
it
goblin.
could be, unless it's like a partial thing. But
Well,
I
it
guess
couldn't
that's
be
a
the
good
3
assumption.
So if it can't be a 3, because 3 would have to be number 4, right?
Yeah.
So that means
So then
2
do
would
we
have to
assume
be
it's
2
2? Okay.
if we're
So
not
we got-
trusting them, which
We
means
got blank,
Elvish
which
would be
means
5.
Elvish is 1. because Elvish would be the only one. So Elvish goes first, then Goblin, then Common, and then I guess it's got to be Dwarvish and probably Orcish for 5.
Okay. You flip the switches in that order, and the box clicks open.
Yeah. Look at that.
Magnus, I have to tell you, it is so nice having somebody smarter than Troy here. Because
That was the quickest puzzle ever.
Don't even need lockpicks.
Fire.
Actually, I think Troy solves the fastest puzzle ever.
the Medusa one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that's right.
I
You nailed
just
it.
I just helped on that puzzle, guys. I'm kind of offended.
He's just here to bring up the numbers.
Okay. Does anyone know that the highest Troy can count is 5?
His intelligence is the one that comes after
She's
4.
perfect for this puzzle.
Okay. Inside the box is a journal.
I read the journal.
Okay.
This journal is written in a black ink, and the writing is fairly like scratchy and kind of violent. And it begins to talk about how the author is incredibly jealous of Giovanni for being the center of attention, and he wants
Giovanni's
to be
the
surrounded.
ambassador.
Yes, and he wants to be surrounded by hero friends, and he wants to be the colonist of a new international relationship, and he feels left out, and he wants all that attention, and he wants to be the great one. And then at the end of the entry it says, "Love, Hugh."
Guys, I don't know what's going on, but I think that the poster, the Hugh, is he alive or is somebody acting as him?
What language was it written in?
Common.
Have we, with all this wooden posters and boxes and stuff, have we seen how magical they are? Or possibly
I'll,
people.
spelled
Detect magic.
those people?
You're just detecting magic on the room. Let's see. How is this gonna work?
Oh.
You
Then
detect
spell
magic
magic.
on the room, and nothing in here is magical. I mean, apart again, the train itself is magical, but like that's it.
I have a way to completely exonerate us from this. Everybody,
Oh yeah? What's that?
yes, we need to match handwriting. Firstly, does anybody have a pen on them?
Well, I don't mean to say much, and this sounds like a swell idea and all, but this really matching handwriting is not going to like this piece isn't incriminating. It's just a declaration of jealousy.
Are you saying that any piece of evidence is dismissible? This is evidence.
I mean, fair enough.
And jealousy is a very strong motive.
One of the strongest.
Was anybody
maybe.
here jealous of Giovanni? I was not. I thought he was
No.
very fussy, or a fuddy-duddy. Did not like that guy. Kind of glad he's dead. Upset that we didn't do our job, but
Now,
Poofers.
Poofers, I don't mean to say much, but that itself was a piece of evidence that I've just recorded.
listen here. Just because I want somebody to die doesn't mean that I'm gonna go out and kill them. There are rules.
Just as being jealous of
Poofers.
someone doesn't mean you would kill them either.
Doesn't look great.
Cue customer poofers.
Okay, so nobody here is jealous of Giovanni.
Nope.
No.
I imagine
no.
it's very cold
I
with all
trust
that
us.
Good
flesh.
name.
At the same time, didn't it also say in the journal that it was talking about us in it? So it sounds like we have some kind of
Call this hero
stage
friends.
5 clinger.
And I look at Lock.
Right.
Don't you think that we're the heroes of the day? Wouldn't you love to be surrounded by heroes, Lock?
Oh,
I mean, I want to be the hero of my own story.
don't change the subject, Lock.
You didn't
I don't
exactly
understand-
answer the question.
I don't really understand the question, to be honest. Are you heroes? It
You
sounds like you
killed
just
Giovanni,
kill one.
Lock.
No, of course not. I'm an innocent child. Look how cute I am. And he like ruffles his feathers a little bit.
Well, he's got my trust.
That checks out. What car are we in right now?
We're in residential 1.
Residential 1.
The boxcar.
Yes. I'm just thinking also, something we didn't do before was actually take a look at the murder weapon, which was a letter opener.
Have we got to check out the?
Didn't we grab that? Didn't we talk about taking that or?
Did we? Did we grab it?
I thought we did take
I
it.
thought we did.
No one took it because you couldn't get too close to the body with everyone there.
Letter opener. Okay,
And
well, we
we
have
need-
our first clue. Somebody's jealous. Giovanni, which is completely ridiculous.
So we
Jealous
should
of
keep
him
his
being the
journal.
center of the of attention.
And just to refresh my memory, he died by a letter opener. Do we know, have we inspected the body or anything
We
else?
haven't been able to do anything because they shoot us. They shoot us away.
Man,
Oh,
That is just
Giovanni's room is also on the second car, by the way.
I suppose
Let's
that
go
would be our
there.
next.
But
destination.
Magnus is quite sneaky. So maybe he should sneaky a peek.
I'm so sneaky I can be invisible now. So
Wow.
just saying. But we should also probably go check out his room,
We
for
should.
clues. Like,
Yes.
For clues, gang.
Lock. I need a monocle. Do you
I
have a
don't-
monocle?
I don't have a spare. I just mine that my grandpa gave me.
Okay, be on the lookout.
Just canonically added that, didn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't. You going to Giovanni's room?
Yeah, I think so.
The store is unlocked. It looks like it's already been gone through, probably by the car. It looks fairly. He wasn't in here, if very much, if at all. There's a few bags of luggage that sit on the bed that's already made. All the sheets are pulled tight and everything. But it looks very just plain in here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything.
I want to inspect some of the luggage. Take a look inside.
All right. You go through the luggage, find typical stuff, clothes, bathroom, whatever's. Also, a large collection of books and other sorts of, a lot of things on translating, linguistics, and stuff like that. A few letters, some of which have been opened, not all, as well as a personal diary.
With the letters, I want to just kind of brief look at them and compare the writing to the journal writing as well.
Also see if they
Oh,
were
you
open
took-
with a letter opener.
You took Hugh's journal.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. So the letters, there are a number that have been opened. They're slit pretty perfectly. So that's a good indication of how they were opened. There is one that was opened from his mother. There is one from the king.
Ooh, was it positive from the king as a brief, quick overview, or was it?
It is a description of his mission. It is like
Okay.
orders. And the rest look like they're all business related.
But the writing was not similar to the journal.
No. No, it was not.
Okay. Well, let's open up the personal diary and read the last entry.
Okay. This last entry is written far less eloquently than the others. It seems to be written in a state of distress. Almost the writing is still eloquent and everything, but it's clear from the sort of cacophony of the sentence structure and stuff like that. It's not his best writing. It seems like he was under duress. His writing in this last entry expresses an extremely deep fear of birds. It appears that he has dreaded this mission for some time, since its assignment even, but was not daring enough to turn down a direct order from the king. And it goes on and on, basically about how much he is dreading this trip. He doesn't want to go. It's basically like walking into his worst nightmare kind of deal.
Oh,
So
poor
it's just
guy.
talked about. Guys, this last injury, he really didn't want to come do that. I mean, he just wanted to fly away. Like,
Boo!
Man, he came all the way down here, and then he got murdered by birds with his own letter opener.
Maybe he didn't get murdered with his own letter opener, if you know what
I
I'm
think
saying.
he did it himself because he was afraid of the birds.
That's a possibility. Maybe he got
He
drunk,
was very
he
gloomy.
cracked.
But why would he go down to another car instead of just doing it in his own room?
maybe he was
I
feeling
think
a
that
little
Aravir
peckish.
actually has a good point, and we should consider Giovanni a suspect as well.
Suspect number 6. Giovanni. Dead guy. Alright. So, we have our information from here. Possible murder or suicide via his own letter opener. My goodness. What will we find next? Do you guys think we should maybe go talk to, Click Clack? Yeah, the conductor?
It would be
See
nice
what
to
he's
find
got.
out who actually is there someone that is in Hugh Man's car? Like who put all of these cardboard cutouts into this train?
Yes, who commissioned Hugh the Man? Let's go talk to Click Clack.
So he is likely in the lead car. He's likely in the lead car because, you know, he's the conductor and he'd be driving the train. So you make your way all the way up there. You're again stopped by, well, rather, you run into the crow who's still talking to Viren's duplicate. And he seems to look at you and like try and stop you, but is in the middle of a conversation with this person, and kind of like can't really decide. In the end, you are allowed to pass. Where is this? Okay. Make your way up to the lead car, and actually, rather, you reach the staff car. And sitting at the door is one of the crew. He's got like one of those cool messenger hats on and like a little vest. He's got his arms crossed and he's smoking a cigarette. And he like flicks his hat up as you approach and says, "What's your business here?"
Well, kind of wondering, A, what your take on this is, and B, who set up Hugh the Man initially?
Well, it was... Hugh arrived on the train on his own, as well, invited as a guest to make you all feel more comfortable.
Okay, but barring that cutesy little act, who actually physically brought him on the train? He didn't move on his own, right?
Listen, he was invited on the train, he's a guest, and that's what we were told.
Told by who?
Why, the conductor. He manages the entire registry of guests.
Thought we were just talking to the conductor. Are we not talking
We
to
were
the
talking to a
conductor
coup
right now?
crew.
Oh. No,
You're-
I want to go
you're
talk
outside.
to the conductor.
Yeah, you're outside the staff car, which is before the lead car. And he is guarding that door.
So I think you should let us go talk to the conductor because we're trying to solve this murder case for you.
I'd be happy to go get him for you, but we don't just let anyone into the staff area.
Okay, that's fair. It's a train. Sounds a little suspicious, but sure, go get the conductor for us. That would be nice, thank you.
He knocks on the door behind him, and another crew peeks out, and he like whispers something to him. Says, "It'll just be a moment."
Am I able to
What's,
see through the door?
Yeah,
Like
what's
the
going
little
on in there?
area?
They just open it to like have their little face peek out, but I can get a perception check if you want to try and sneak a peek.
I definitely want to sneak a peek.
Magnus, it's time for invisibility.
How about a 23?
That's a 19.
Something about Foundry is if you tab out and then tab back in, you can't see the most recent roll until all the other ones finish before it. So that's great. Both of you are able to kind of peek over the much shorter Kenku into the area, and while you can only see about a quarter of the room through the slit that opens up, there are a number of the Ku crew in here that all seem to be playing cards, smoking and drinking.
Wow, they're
About how
taking
many
this
do you
very
see?
seriously.
And they, yeah, they look pretty intense. It's like rough and tough in there for Kenku.
Hmm.
3 foot tall Kenku.
Like the salty spittoon level. Moments later, you hear the conductor approaching, mostly because he just throws ruckus wherever he goes, and he bursts through the door, and the Ku crew steps inside the room as the conductor takes his place, and Click Clack says, "Why, what do you need at this time? You know how stressful it is to be dealing with all of this, and trying to drive the train and keep everything up and running, and the car here is just... What do you need?"
Who brought Hugh on the train?
He was a guest. He was invited.
Invited by whom?
I believe it was directly the Ken King's order to put him on the train.
And who's
No, as a-
moving him around? And because he didn't sit still, and then he had a glass and looked like he was drinking, and then he's suddenly above the murder scene. So who's responsible for moving him around?
No one.
So who's moving him then?
But see,
I don't know. It wouldn't be me.
Wood.
He's a guest on this train. That is very rude. How would you feel if someone called you Wood?
Well, see, he doesn't feel because he's wood.
You know, there is life in all things. It's not just...
That's
simple.
very true, but he's also a dead piece of a tree that was cut down.
That's a very intense accusation.
So let me get this straight. You have this thing come in and take up residence in one of your train cars with his wood luggage, and then you just don't do anything with it? You just let him sit there and move around? Nobody saw who was moving him around?
He's a guest on the train.
I think more importantly, is his room better than ours?
Was his
course
room better than ours?
It was the same room, but he seemed to be the only occupant of his, was the difference.
Of course.
Yeah, it was humongous.
Well,
I said that.
nice. Well, Hugh-Man and I are gonna start being best friends, and I call dibs with his room with him.
So, conductor, I
Yeah,
don't
but-
suppose you saw where we went for the last hour.
Well, I've been driving the train. It's my job. I try to stick to that so we don't crash into anything, you know?
So you were in the conductor car the entire time.
Sure, I mean, besides the rounds that I have to do.
So something doesn't make sense to me. If we're the first humans on this island, and we have this Hugh man who looks pretty anatomically correct, how did he get here? And doesn't that make him the first human on this island? If he's not just a block of wood?
Well, of course not. He's just a piece of wood.
I feel like we're
Okay.
going in circles.
Then how did they know, whoever made just this piece of wood, how to look?
Well, we've had knowledge of the mainland for many years. It's nothing new. That's why we've avoided you. We've seen the violence that your people wreak everywhere, so we've really kept to ourselves.
But we've established he's just a piece of wood.
He's a guest.
And also a piece of wood. Did he
Mhm.
pay you for this venture?
We leave the bookkeeping to the accountants at the main station. I just
Oh,
checked the tickets.
Okay, we're not gonna get anywhere with this conversation. Say, who was on rounds when, about an hour before the murder up to the murder? Who was responsible for rounds at that time?
Well, let's see. He pulls out a pocket watch. I'd finished rounds just before that. I expect there were several of the Ku crew out and looking about as they have to maintain
Before the
train.
murder or the hour before the murder?
I'm sorry, I'm confused on what time you're asking.
I'm asking, was he doing rounds in the time that we don't know where we were?
He was.
Okay. So, you were out and about on the train during the potential murder time, and so were some of your crew. that
Yes, I
correct?
suppose. Yes.
How do you feel about Giovanni?
Oh, Giovanni, I mean, he was, it's certainly, I have no personal qualm with him, or anything like that. It was actually quite an honor to be able to deliver the first party of humans out here to the Kin Court. It's great for tourism, will draw lots of attention. Nothing like a great story or the site of an important event to bring important guests and traffic to the train.
Wait,
Okay, and go ahead.
when on your rounds did you see us? Where were we on your rounds?
As far as I can tell, you had left the dining cart, but I didn't actually see you anywhere. Maybe you were in your room?
That makes sense. Did you see Giovanni?
No, I didn't.
This is very unhelpful. Could we talk to your crew who were also doing rounds during that time?
You can certainly try, but they're not too keen on strangers.
Why?
Oh, well,
Like everybody else likes us.
between you and me, they're a bit snooty. They have this opinion that if our technology of the train that they've built and maintained got out to the mainland and was reproduced there, it would violate the sort of sanctity of the idea. There's a sort of purity they admire to the magic of music, and if this sort of thing were mass reproduced, that artistry would be gone. If you ask me, it's just too high class or whatever, but that's how they feel.
Is that the reason why the unions are upset? Because of the potential alliance between the island and the mainland?
Certainly one of the things they're upset about. Other things include long working hours and minimal short breaks. Been a real pain in my ass.
Do you have a union leader on the train right now?
We do indeed. His name is Kaku, and he is the Kukru Union President.
The cuckoo crew.
Where
He's the
exactly
cuckoo
is
for you.
he?
I imagine he's in the staff car. That's where they hang out.
Oh, you mean the one right behind you?
Yep.
But the union leader hangs out in. Oh,
Well,
okay.
he's part of the crew. The Ku crew.
Is there any way we could get back there to talk to the crew?
I have no problem with you in the staff car, but it's up to them whether they actually let you in. From what I've seen, they have a sort of rite of passage.
A rite of passage. Also, I turn to Lock and I say, "Do you hear this motive from the side of the Union?" I turn back. I'm like, "Rite of passage? What were you saying?"
And Lock says, well, and he whispers, I see more than one motive here. You muted.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems like the conductor has a great interest in big events happening here because it can bring tourism.
Anybody want to come to a place where they kill you?
Ghost stories, all sorts of, like this is a monumental place that you want to see the thing happen, or where it happened.
They do have excellent alcohol. I will give them that. Anyway, rite of passage.
Yeah, if you don't have any other questions, I'll just go grab one of them and they can deal with you.
Anybody have any other questions?
Who's driving the train right now?
Yep, I should get back to that.
Cool.
And he goes through the door, and replacing him very quickly is a member of the Ku crew. It's like, what do you need?
Hello. Yes, I'm Poofers. A frog jumps out of my hat and lands on him. And I say, and I'm very suspicious of you. Why don't you like us?
We have no problem with you. Why would you ever think that?
Great! Then we can come back there and hang out with you guys.
Of course not. This is the staff area.
Yeah, but I mean, your train's kind of a disaster right now. I think you can make it an exception. Everybody just needs a little bit of a break.
Oh, well, good thing you're guests and you have that nice residential area in the back.
Well, we were talking with the conductor, and he said he was okay with it if you guys were. And I mean, honestly, we're just looking for some, fun. We're more fun to hang out with,
Oh, so I'm sure you know your way around a card table then.
I mean,
Since you're so fun.
mean-
doesn't Barry know his way around a card table pretty well?
I think Magnus knows it very well. He, at one point, just hung out in camp for like 3 weeks.
Playing cards, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can do that.
Great. And he kneels down and lays out before you.
I'm good at cards as long as they don't go past 5.
I can play Uno if 1 is the only card.
All right. So he lays out 3 piles of 4 cards each. The leftmost pile is the 4 aces, 1 of each suit. The middle pile is 4 twos. And the right pile is the 4 kings. And he says, when you're ready, I'll go ahead and give you your test.
So 4 aces, 4 twos, 4 kings.
Now I want you to show how well you know your way around a deck and how well you can work with the cards. There's a 2 to the right of the king, and a diamond to the left of the spade, an ace to the left of a heart, and a heart to the left of a spade.
There's a long. That was a long pause. Is there more, or is that?
Just this far.
Can you repeat that?
There's a 2 to the right of a king, a diamond to the left of a spade, an ace to the left of a heart, and a heart to the left of a spade.
Tell me someone got that. Proofer's got it. Just putting it in notes.
I got it. I wrote it down for you guys. And by you guys, I mean Magnus, who is the master of card work.
2 to the right of the king, diamond to the left of the spade, ace to the left of a heart, heart to the left of a spade.
What is he
Okay.
trying to accomplish with this?
So,
Show me you can work with the cards.
okay. The
Pick the 3 that satisfy these.
3 that satisfies. Okay.
How's everybody's day?
We know how my day went.
Say, don't you guys have more important things to be doing than playing cards and smoking?
Got it.
Not really. Take turns on rounds. Alright, what's your answer?
Magnus.
Don't got it. Stand by.
Big think on the puzzle. Put on one person instead of making it a team effort.
Yep. I don't understand what you're supposed to be doing with this puzzle.
I thought I did, and then I got confused and don't understand.
Well, at least the person you've pinned it on seems to get what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it. All right. It's I put the ace of diamonds down on the left, king of hearts in the middle, and 2 spades on the right.
He looks over these and nods with some satisfaction, says, Alright, seems like you know your way around the deck.
That was so impressive. I don't understand what you just did.
I Good job, Magnus.
And he opens the door and says, "What's your step?"
I look down.
and
What are we watching her step for?
It was a metaphor to say it's kind of shady in here.
Damn.
It isn't indeed a little bit shady. This room is full of kind of like crappy tables and chairs at which a variety of the Coup crew sit, smoke, play cards, drink, kind of take their breaks and stuff. A few moments after you're about to enter, rather, a number of like 3 or 4 of the Coup crew push past you and say, "Back from rounds," and another 4 sigh and stand up and exit for their turn of rounds. And you're able to enter the room, and they all kind of give you a like dirty glare as you enter.
Do they all look like the exact same?
No, they're a variety of tropical birds.
I know. So, who was on rounds before the murder occurred?
Are you who are you talking to?
Whoever's listening. I don't know who's here.
I mean, none of them are gonna answer to you directly.
I go behind one and I tap him on the shoulder. And I say, "Hello, I'm Poofers. Please answer my question."
Why is there a frog? I can't hear you. Am I going deaf?
Our cat is on her mute button.
Yeah. So there's a frog because I say so, first of all. And secondly, who was on patrol right before the murder occurred? And I don't mean murder of you, I mean murder of the person that we brought with us.
Well, we'd have to go check the logs. And he, stands up to go retrieve a book and then comes back with it. And he says, well, there were several birds out at the times it could have occurred. About 12 in total. Does that actually help you?
Not really. But hey, what's your opinion on, outsiders seeing this train? It's a pretty nice train.
It is quite nice, isn't it? We're very proud of it.
Just out of curiosity, does anybody do rounds like in the residential rooms, or do you just walk by them?
We walk through all the cars. It's our songs that keep this train running.
So you walk through the cars, but how about the rooms? Do you go into the residential rooms, or do you give people their privacy?
Of course not. We like to give them their privacy.
I don't suppose anybody saw our room occupied while walking by in that last hour.
And he said, he looks at the room and yells, "Anyone peep on these toms?" And they all kind of look up for a second and then go back to what they were doing. Doesn't look like it.
Not really. This is very unhelpful, actually.
You know, Clinker's been in the engine room all day, though. Seems like he's kind of been more on duty than lately. Maybe you could talk to him.
Clinker? Who's Clinker?
It's just another of the Coup crew.
Just that guy. Okay, we'll go talk to Clinker.
And as always, if you want
We'll
more,
take that lead.
if you want information, you can always go talk to Kaku as well.
When, if we could, when you guys did your rounds of the 12, we got to partake in a few adult beverages here, and then no-don't juice. And did anybody happen to see us as they were walking around?
Anyone see these toms walking around? And another one yells out, "Aye, they was smashing into the walls." And he says, "Well, there you have it. Apparently, you were seen walking around drunkenly."
Where was that? Where were we smashing the walls?
The Southern Residential.
I'm suddenly starting to believe that the only thing that we did during that hour was be drunk. I don't think we did anything important.
Doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like it.
Do we ever, though?
No, which is even more
No.
reason why. Okay, so we're going to talk to Clinker, was it?
Orc Ku. He's the union president.
All right, let's go. Let's go to Clinker first, and then to the president after.
The president's here if you don't want to come back.
Oh, he's here. Okay, we'll go talk to him.
Okay, Kaku is a black and white spotted Kenku. A little bit different from the other tropical ones here. And he's sitting in a corner smoking a cigar, leaning back in a chair. Like a cool guy. And says, yeah, says, really, we're not supposed to have to deal with the guests. We're just running the train.
We're more than just guests. We are murder investigators.
And murder suspects, as far as I hear.
Yes, everybody on this train is a suspect, including us. Now, where were you during the hour before the murder, and where were we?
Well, I can speak for one of those, and that's me. I was heading back from the engine room, where I helped out with a slight problem there. Nothing more than just passing abnormality. Nothing we haven't seen before. But I'm not sure where you were exactly. Were you killing someone, maybe?
Maybe. I don't think so, though. I'm fairly certain we did not. We're not those kinds of people who go and kill people we're supposed to protect.
The only thing we were killing was drinks.
And boy,
Killing
how
it.
we were.
Anyway.
No, the mainlanders are responsible for lots of death, not just of each other, but of the finer arts and everything.
Yeah, I've heard that your union has a lot of problems when it comes to exposing the technology that you created to outsiders.
Sure, your type would never appreciate the ingenuity that went into this, the maintenance and care and love that it takes to sustain a great vehicle like this.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm sure there are a couple people who would probably appreciate it, but 99% of us have no idea what's going on here and won't appreciate it.
When you say a couple people, like Tempest is like,
Yeah, that guy. Anyway, so what you're saying is you would want some kind of a diplomatic mission to fail. And I can't see a better way for that diplomatic mission to fail than to just kill the guy who's supposed to bring the diplomacy with him, right?
you really accusing me of murder?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Listen, we may have our preferences, but we would never go so far as to draw blood over them. We're not monsters like all of you with the mainland.
Is that what you think? Is that what you think has been drawn? Because I'm pretty sure most of that was not blood in the areas we checked. By the way, I want to be checking feathers as we go for if these drinks appear to look like blood. I'm guessing there's maybe a few stained feathers throughout the area. So I just want to kind of be checking out as we go through the staff area or other areas.
Well, all of them are drinking right now, so several of them will have like remnants of whatever beverage they're drinking, but it's not like one person in particular stands out.
I have a question. If it doesn't sound like you would go as far to murder someone, but do you know someone who might?
Well, if you ask me, the crows are pretty suspicious. They come and poke their noses where they aren't wanted and won't leave until they find something that, makes them appear successful or whatever, and it's no secret that they don't like the outsiders either.
I don't suppose you heard any weird reports about Hugh the man walking around.
He is a piece of cardboard.
Thank you. That's what I've been trying to
Right?
say.
That's what we've been saying.
Everybody else seems to think he moves around on his own. Do you know who's been moving him around?
I can't say that I do. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a few of the coup crew had moved him, as a joke or something, but
Is there
I don't
any
think
way for
anyone
you
was
to
in charge of
find
it.
out? Because he was standing over the murder body, so...
Wait a second. Hold on. Time to huddle up. 1 second.
Huddle.
I grab everybody.
This really isn't a private place. There's lots of people in here.
We can speak
Wait.
telepathically.
I know,
adults are
that was
talking.
fun.
We still huddle.
hey,
We just
all right,
don't
huddle
talk.
up. So, what if the person that's moving human, I'm saying this very quietly, was just invisible? Because I can go invisible. Barry can go
I think
invisible.
3 of you guys can go.
And you can murder somebody and place human wherever you want, almost as a joke. Would there be a way to find out if that is a thing?
So here's the thing with that. All of the birds have magic.
And Tempest
Magic?
types up telepathically and says, I don't mean to say much, but 3 of us can also go invisible, and none of us have any memory of what happened.
Yeah, we probably should bring that up.
Not to mention the really weird dreams that we all had.
About the
Except for me.
spiders. Except for me. And I
Because I didn't
turned
mess
back
with the
to-
spider goddess.
Yeah, I turn back to the union leader and I go, have you had any weird spider problems on this train recently? You found a lot of spiders in our room. Wondering what's going on with that. What's your pest control like?
I'm sorry.
You know, I actually did hear a
spider.
Yeah,
I did hear a report about this. It did seem like there were quite a few spiders originating from your room. I had assumed you brought them as a snack or something.
Damn it.
I don't know what you eat.
I open up my bug bag and I show them all my bugs. You will find very few spiders in here. You know why? Because they're all legs. There's very little meat on the legs. You want to go for nice grubby things, caterpillars, beetles, two-leggy.
Yeah, see, we're all vegetarians here. We just eat the fruits. Can't say I really sympathize with that.
Spiders coming out.
They
Okay,
are really good fruits too.
they are very good fruits. Who else do
Really
we
good
have
when
to
they're
talk to?
fermented.
Oh, Clankers? What was his name?
Yeah, that was right.
Clinker.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for the information. We might be back to talk to you later. Let's go talk to
Oh,
Clinker.
I can't wait.
As we're walking, I lean into the group. Do birds leave fingerprints or something detectable? You think Lock has a little detective kit
Maybe
for-
feathers if we find a feather
hum-
or something.
for human? Like dust him for bird prints?
We should check the
We
map.
could try. Where is Human? Is he still with the body?
I don't know.
Should probably go back down there after this and check that out. He might still be.
As you leave the crew car, you hear another scream,
Oh no.
and it is from very far south on the train.
Is Lock with us?
Yes.
Where's
We go.
Hugh? Is Hugh okay?
We don't like you. He's an
Actually,
asshole.
is Lock should
He
he'd
should be.
with you. He's with you.
Lock, did you hear that?
I did. We have to go investigate immediately.
No, but hold on, wait. I would like you to make note of all of us up here and none of us down there before we go.
Where
And
the
it meant
screaming
All of
is.
us, Lock, the union leader, are all up here.
I telepathically saying, "Who cares? It's a kid. Let's go."
That is very rude.
And
It's probably.
you sprint south through the train, and you hear someone screaming, "Oh my God, help!" Over and over again. You burst through the social car, burst through the second social car, and then through the residential rooms, and then through the last social car, and run past the cargo room where you see a number of the Ka guarding the dead body still there. Through the second cargo room and to the front of the engine room, where basically you throw this door open and there is a metal platform that shoots forward to the other side of the car, or at least a door in the middle of the car, and then it has a path to the left and a path to the right, and these paths are hovering over a bunch of mechanical parts and grinding gears that basically cover the entire floor, and should you fall into them would obliterate you. And you look up.
Apparently we don't have OSHA here.
You look up and you see hanging over some of the grinding gears below and machinery from a rope attached to a crane is the Pomeranian pet. And there's
The cardboard Pomeranian.
Yes, there's a crew here yelling, "Oh my god, help! I have to go tell the conductor!" And he sprints back the way you came. And several of the passengers are coming up to see what's going on. Now, to describe the rest of the room, at each end of the pathways, the south, the east, and the west, are 4 levers. And on the door is a note that says, "Crane control override, : just desserts."
Train what override?
Crane control override, just desserts. And you see that the crane is slowly lowering the Pomeranian toward the gears. And Lock says, "Oh my god, he's gonna die! You have to save him!" But
He's
wait!
hard-
But if we spend time here, the murderer could strike again elsewhere. Are you gonna save him or are you gonna go?
Guys, what do you? I mean, it is a
Several of the guests who have come to see what's going on are like panicking, like, "Save the dog! Oh my god, he's gonna die!"
I'm telepathic. I mean, it'll look good for us if we save the dog.
That's true.
It'll
Okay,
not
let's
be
save this
really
goddamn dog.
By the way, a timer is running.
Yeah, I run to the east wall, and I pull. There's 4 levels at each of the levers at each of the walls.
So
Okay,
if
I
you
start pulling
stand at the
levers to
north-
see what happens.
when you pull a lever down, the light goes on. There's like a light underneath it, underneath each lever, and when you push it back up, it goes off.
And does it do anything to the crane?
No.
Guys, pull other levers
sorry,
with me.
There's also a crane control panel, but it is non-responsive right now.
So
Okay.
So we
Somebody
go
stay at the
one
control
lever.
panel, see if it lights up, and everybody else just go pull levers around the room.
Go
Okay.
Rock.
It's not gonna work. Nothing. You can't gain control.
Okay.
While this is all happening, I want to watch the people that are in the car with us to see if there's like some kind of reaction that kind of seems like this was expected.
Yeah,
Can you roll insight?
$15.
So only passengers are here right now, and they're kind of like running in circles, freaking out. What you find odd though is that at the south end of the room, there's another door that probably leads further into the engine room, and you think it's odd that none of like the presumed crew back there are coming forth to help.
Is there anything on these levers? Any markings or anything? Or are they just 4 levers?
Just 4 levers on each one.
Everybody pull the left one. When we
You
all
all-
pull the left one at the same time, what happens?
Those 4 lights turn on, or those 3 lights turn on, but they like you don't have any control. But I will point you to the note that says crane control override, just desserts.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to throw a pie into this thing? What am I supposed to do?
It's funny because the answer to this has come up like 3 or 4 times.
It's 3.14. So it's 3, 1, and 4. Those are the
Why
crane
did you
levers
say
we're pulling.
that, Magnus?
Well, I wanted you to shine. And
So,
really, I
we
wanted
pulled
Barry
the-
to solve it.
We pull the 3rd, 1st, and 4th lever.
Okay. You throw those, and the Pomeranian that is almost in the machinery, you almost hear it yelp, but the crane control panel lights up.
Who's
Alright.
at the control panel? Is it Erebir?
Yeah.
Erebir,
Wait,
save the
I'm at the
Pomeranian.
control panel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to stop it and lift it so it doesn't.
All right, you
Die.
throw a big lever up, and it stops just before he is consumed by the machinery, and he's dangling very close to the machinery. Start to see beads of condensation form
I would
around
like
his
to
head.
figure out how to
Let's-
lift him up.
You basically play with the levers a lot and are eventually able to figure out how to pull him up into safety. And he's now dangling over one of the pathways. You can go get him down.
Barry,
Jump
grab
off
him.
Barry's shoulders. Grab.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have saved the dog.
Oh.
I look at the dog and I look deep into its eyes. I'm like, who did this to you? Who hurt you?
Tell me your secrets. Wait,
Dude.
wait. Barry. Let's find out his secrets.
How am I supposed to do that?
Can't you talk to animals?
He's cardboard.
I
Oh.
could try. And I like.
it.
Cooper, as you question him and his beady black eyes stare back at you with distress.
Wait, did it actually change though? Did its eyes? Okay, just making sure. I'm gonna point out, isn't it kind of strange that no one from the other side of the room, the other car, has come out? Isn't that also where
Why don't
Blinker
we go
is
in?
from?
Yeah, and also, why didn't the Coup Crew help us?
Let's
You're
go
the ones who
find
know
out.
how this works.
Also, the answer was 3.14, which I gave to the car.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
Who has some tinfoil?
What else did we tell to the car? They didn't really talk to me much.
If all of a
That's
sudden
good.
I have excellent calves, we know who's been behind this. And then I look down and then I'm disappointed.
Okay, so I would like to go, around. First, let's deal with people inside the car right now that are running around freaking out.
Oh, they seem to they start cheering when you save the dog and everything.
Did you see who strung him up there?
No, we were just over in our rooms hanging out.
And why'd you come down here?
Well, we heard the panicking. We wanted to see what was the matter, to see if someone else died.
Who was here panicking first?
One of the members of the Coup Crew, I think.
The Coup Crew should know how to solve this crap. Coup crap,
Yeah,
okay.
crew.
Yeah, so that's interesting. The Coup Crew was here, huh? But they didn't help.
Who screamed?
Interesting.
Hmm.
And
Who
then
did
he
scream?
ran
It was
up.
the Coup Crew
to
guy.
tell-
Sorry?
Who screamed?
Danny ran out to go
Yeah.
tell somebody.
Yeah.
What did that Coup Crew member look like? Did he have a distinctive feather pattern?
I mean, you could identify him if you needed to.
Thing. Do we want to go talk to the... Okay, wait, aren't we pretty close to where the body is? We want to hit the body first and then go up to the Coup Crew again and
Think we
interrogate
should go
that
into that other door that nobody came out of and see what's going on in there.
Alright.
Okay, you go push the door open, and are immediately met with a very kind of odd feeling. The music in here that is being sung by a number of Coup Crew is deafeningly loud. And it becomes almost immediately obvious to you why, or at least a reason why they might not have come is it seems this room is soundproofed to kind of contain the song that drives the engine. However, before we engage with the Coup Crew here, how about a quick break?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back. We're back. We're in the engine room where a beautiful Kenkua song is playing that drives this miracle train. They are all in the middle of this bird song and like look at you like you're not supposed to be in here. What do you want? But aren't able to really cut the song for fear of, throwing the train off.
I hold up the Pomeranian cardboard cutout, and I'm like, they just shrug.
What do you want? They're busy. They can't talk.
Who's in the room?
There are 5 Kukru in here singing right now.
I tell back the message to the group. Well, obviously
Also,
they
it's
didn't
very
hear-
loud in here, by the way.
Well, in your mind though, you'd still hear.
Yeah, no, I'm just like singing.
They
Could
obviously
I
didn't hear what was going on out there, and they're all locked in here. So
This is the engine room, yeah?
Hey, so should we slow or stop this train if we don't want to solve this before we get to?
I mean, we could. Then again, the murderer could then just exit the train if
Alright.
we did stop it.
Murder could jump off.
Can we actually use Tempest to telepathically message these birds singing? Technically, we could, right?
Not until like the network, but he can send messages for you.
Yeah. Hey Tempe, can you find out which one is what was it, Clanker?
Yeah. And he like looks at the birds silently for some time. And eventually he turns back and says, "It's the one with the red and orange feathers," which is the bird on the farthest right.
Okay.
How does he look? Is he looking at us like does he have a tell? You know what I
Is
mean?
he sweating?
Yeah.
Like,
Little
can I
bird
see
beads of
insight
sweat.
roll?
Sure, I will roll insight. That is a 19.
Your modifier is stupid. He looks really tired. As you recall, one of the Kukru had said that he'd been down here for some time, like more than one shift. Which is certainly something to note, but I mean, he doesn't like panic or anything when you enter the room. He just kind of continues what he's doing. Avoids eye contact as most of the Kukru do, but is mostly focused on his work. Just looks tired.
I asked Tempe to ask him, has he seen anybody who's not supposed to be in here besides us come in?
He hasn't, but he says that he's seen you all causing chaos throughout the cars.
Yeah. Wait, how did he see that if he's been in here the whole time?
Apparently, he left for his shift's end, ran into you lot near the cargo cars, and then couldn't get by and just came back to take on a second shift.
Just like, fuck it, I'll just stay.
A likely story.
what were
Interesting.
we
So
doing?
he was, yeah, what were we doing and what was he doing at the cargo cars? Did he see us with anybody?
Like every time there's like a pause where he has to go ask this poor bird some questions. He was going back towards the staff car after his shift had ended, alone. Typically there are 6 birds here and they switch off. And he had encountered you in the cargo car, roughhousing and pushing each other around and bullying Giovanni a little bit. Before
We were
he
talking with Giovanni.
apparently, before he couldn't get by and grew tired of the shenanigans and just came back to fulfill a second shift.
Ask him if he saw Hugh anywhere.
He has seen you throughout the train, as most have.
Does he know who's been moving Hugh around, or is he convinced that Hugh is a guest? Which side of the spectrum is he on the Hugh?
Where
on
does
the,
he fall?
yeah.
He's a guest.
What color hue is he on the spectrum?
Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Boo Hugh.
Boo.
Did he catch catch what we were saying to Giovanni?
Says he's growing tired of the questioning, but I can probably. He says that you were mostly just pushing him around and kind of teasing him. Giovanni did not look pleased.
Guys, does that seem like something that we would do? As a group together? I mean, we pick on other people all the time, but never as a group.
I don't know, you were picking on Neil pretty hard.
Yeah, but that's Neil.
It's fair.
Everybody hates Neil.
Neil is the intern at the magic shop. Yeah.
Actually, we felt pretty bad for Neil the other
Yeah, didn't we do something nice
Yeah,
for
we felt
him?
bad
did.
for Neil.
We brought him some self-help books.
You've
That's
teased
right.
you've teased and pushed around many
Learn
people.
to loaf yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
I bought him the little cart that could.
The wagon that could, yeah.
All right. Well then. Huh, so we were being mean to Giovanni. I wonder what that was about. Was there anybody else around when we were teasing Giovanni? That's the last question, because then we can go question that.
He says there were a few spiders on the ground.
Where were they?
On the ground in the cart, and just happened to notice them.
Okay. Telepathic
Yeah.
cuddle.
We're
Guys.
completely ignoring the
What
spider
happens if
thing.
it wasn't us, but it was somebody who looks like us? What happens if the spider god is trying to get revenge on us, murdered Giovanni, and then is trying to pin it on us?
Or somehow controlled us in our drunken state through manipulation with spiders.
Could be.
Or I don't know. I got nothing. I just
Is
wanna-
there a way to like? Do you have some spiders in your bag of bugs?
I got a
poopers?
couple, but they're from like back home. They're
I wonder
probably
if
not very
there's
good
a-
by now.
I wonder if there's a way for us to like queue customer a spider somehow around some of these and see if what
Dopio
their
sent me
reaction
a spider
see
once.
see what their reactions are. See if they're if we get any reaction.
What?
Okay.
What if you just eat them in front of them or something? That would draw attention, right?
I'm sorry. Who do we
Just
want to do
kinda-
this
just-
to?
just
Because
kinda-
I have a spider.
Yeah, but
You
we don't
wouldn't.
want to eat him. Stick.
I don't know the animal that you
Sticks,
guys
the
are talking
spider.
about.
The spider.
Oh,
Well, I think there's significance to this if we all dreamt about it and found it in our room, and we've clearly not touched on it at all this entire time. But if somebody is doing somebody's bidding, you'd think they'd have a reaction to us, like, you know, eating spiders or something.
Okay.
Poopers.
And I kind of like, I break out from the huddle and I kind of look around and I kind of like eye everybody to see if they're looking at me. And when I have a decent amount of their attention, like not full attention, but just so I know they're looking at me, I eat a spider.
Also,
I'm gonna be
telepathically,
watching.
guys, they are all vegetarians, so they might
That's
be a little adverse to this.
Yeah,
just
a
in
few of
general.
them look like disgusted at this, and then one of them like gags, like, oh, and it interrupts the song, and the entire train like, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I won't do that again. I'm sorry. Guys, maybe we should look for signs of spiders on the train, look for little webs and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's leave the engine singing guys to their business, so we
And we
don't
can
do
hit
their
we can
die.
hit the murder zone on our way back up the cart.
Okay. So you're taking a look around the trains. It as a whole, the train is very clean. It's not that big, so they don't have like a ton to maintain. It looks very well kept. Maybe in between some cargo boxes or something, there's like, a few like pests that are kind of insignificant. But nothing that is like screams like, oh, there's a giant spider web over there, kind of deal. Make your way up to the first cargo car where the body still lays, being guarded by several of the Caw. And one of them approaches and says, "Why are you out of your rooms? We are in the middle of a lockdown."
I take him and I grab him by the shoulders and I gently pick him up and move him to the side and walk past.
This is a violation of my personal rights.
Okay. And I continue to walk past.
And there's
how much
he
do
walks
these birds look like they weigh?
probably about as much as poofers, if a little
Yeah,
bit
they're
less,
like
probably.
3 feet tall.
So like 10 pounds.
No, more than 10 pounds.
Probably
I weigh
like
like 30 pounds.
40 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, like 30, 40 pounds probably. They're like stocky birds. Another cause says, you must not enter this area. It is a crime scene and it is extremely suspicious for you to return to it.
I got
Okay,
this,
I think
guys.
we're already.
Please do not impede the investigation. And leave it to the murder of crows.
I just take them one by one and slowly push them out of the way so that we can get to the body.
You
Careful
can
not
do
to
that,
ruffle
but
any feathers.
they're going to continue to pursue you and like try and get in your way.
That's
Like,
okay.
they're not gonna just leave you alone.
While Poofers
Like
has
actively step in front of you, essentially.
everybody pretty well focused on her.
No, they're focusing the whole crew. It's
Oh.
not just her. It is just like the mainlanders to treat people so violently. This is why you should not be welcome on our island.
Oh, interesting. Hmm.
So
Okay.
now, you all think that outsiders shouldn't be welcome here?
It is clear that you have no regard for peace and order, as
you feel that
evidenced
way
by your disregard for
before?
the authorities.
Okay, I'm
Squeaky.
gonna turn away from them, and I'm
Eat
going to
another
take.
spider.
No. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a bug out of my bag, and I'm gonna take the Pomeranian cardboard, and I'm gonna scribble like red bug juice all over it, and then I'm gonna discreetly slide the Pomeranian to another part of the car, and then go there, over there.
Roll persuasion or deception with advantage.
I would like to, while she's doing this, I would like to find an area that's a little less visible, and I would like to go invisible.
Sick. That was with advantage.
I need you to roll Stealth Magnus to slip away to the shadows. They turn to you and say, "Did you just murder that dog? It is covered in blood.
Bug
Murderer!
juice.
Murderer! You are
And
now
I
the part."
I start running around the train to get them to chase me.
Several of them chase you, and they're pretty much on your tail. They're much more agile than you expected.
Oh
Uh,
my.
And you hear them screaming, "Be thankful it is not the one with the nice calves!"
13 on my stealth.
They're pretty distracted, so you can go do that. However, one or two may have seen you slip away.
All right. Well, I'm invisible then.
Yeah, but like just so you know, they may have noticed you doing that.
Copy.
So while this chaos is ensuing and several of the birds are chasing poofers around, I need poofers to make an athletics check. I want to see how well you can actually avoid this.
Why did it roll twice? I don't know. 15.
Okay. Wow, they rolled a 14, so they are on your tail, and it is taking everything you have to avoid being tackled by these birds. What are the rest of you doing? Magnus has gone invisible. The three of you.
I'm calling up to poofers. Duck dive dipped.
I'm going to see if the murder weapon is still around the room. Is it still there? And while that's happening as well, I want to go over to the Pomeranian.
Okay, so Poofers is being chased around. Viren, the murder weapon is still on the ground right next to Giovanni's hand, where you had seen it previously, and then you go to the Pomeranian.
Okay. I'm going to telepathic message Invisible Magnus to point out the weapon. And then I'm going to pick up the Pomeranian, and I'm getting ready to clean it off, but I still need a distraction to keep happening, so Poofers is going to have to keep being agile.
I'm an
Hey, Andrew, what are you
excellent
doing?
distraction.
I'm discreetly kind of looking around the car to see if there's anything around the car that maybe like was Giovanni's or may have been dropped by the murderer.
Okay, can you roll investigation, please?
Okay.
Thanks for following. Any actor?
Okay, mod 20. You look very closely around the car and are surprised to find just how clean the crime scene is. A lot of the blood has been cleaned up. There was a lot of like pooling blood, and that still stains the ground. But you know, you look closely at everything that you had observed previously. It looks like a sharp object was dragged across the neck of the victim. The murder weapon, alleged murder weapon, is by Giovanni's hand, like it was dropped either by him or by someone, or maybe placed there. He is unmoving, dead. But the rest of the car, apart from, you know, the body being in plain sight, is pretty clean. There are a number of footprints in here from the just endless number of people that have passed through. The cargo around him has been kind of cleared out a little bit, which you find interesting because though you hadn't been in this cargo car prior to the murder, you would expect it to be fully packed with boxes, but it looks like they've almost been moved to display the body.
Is Hugh Man around?
Hugh is not here. Hugh Man is not here.
I'm starting to be real sus of Hugh.
Yeah, that's what you notice.
While invisible, I would like to take a really good look at that letter opener and see if I see any kind of symbols or anything that looks obvious, like we saw either in the journals or with the letters or anything like that that's identifiable.
Roll history. Okay, your history's not strong, but you do recall that there were some letters in Giovanni's chamber that had been slit open, probably with a letter opener or a dagger or something of similar nature. On top of that, the letter opener is very intricate. It looks very official, but where it has a symbol on it, like a sigil, but where that sigil originates from, you're not sure.
Okay.
Would we have? Okay.
Can
Yeah, with that history roll, you don't know where the sigil's from.
on the body, without like getting my hands on the blood or anything like that, I'd like to kind of just pat him down to feel like his pockets or see if he has anything on his person.
With a quick pat down, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. He doesn't really have like weapons or anything like that. He's got some papers on him, just like general things you'd carry, like a pocket watch and a pen. Nothing immediately suspicious.
And then do I see any other injuries besides just the like cut to him?
No, there's just the slit across the throat.
Okay.
How's Poopers doing right now?
I don't know. She should roll in the athletics
I'm
check.
running. Is there anywhere high up that I can jump?
Not in the cargo room, I don't think. I think it's just
No,
big
like
empty
tall
car.
bins of cargo. Okay.
You can try and jump on them, but there's no guarantee that they can't follow you up.
Can I make a mess though?
Yeah, roll an athletics check again to see if you can continue to evade them.
That's a
24.
24.
Yeah, they start to get slowly out of breath, and you gain some distance on them. They're not like on your tail anymore. And you guys have a little bit more time to investigate before this is gonna come to an end.
So I'm gonna take a look, a really good inspection of like the cut to his throat, and if it actually looks like blood was seeping out, just to confirm that he's actually dead.
Can you roll an investigation check? Just FYI, they rolled
Can I
a
give
check
him-
magic last time, and there was nothing magical in the body.
Can I give him guidance?
Yeah.
Roll a d4 as well. Oof. Well, that's gonna be good anyways.
Okay, 24 in total. This person is definitely dead. Like, unmistakably dead.
Hella dead.
However, you look very closely at you're starting to struggle with all the ruckus in here, by the way, and like not stepping on blood and everything like that. The wound to the neck doesn't look particularly deep. It looks not quite an abrasion, but more of a like you wouldn't necessarily expect a really fast bleed out or anything with this level of injury. It wasn't as deep as like you might expect like a professional murderer to do or something like that. It's it looks like almost survivable kind of deal.
And he doesn't have any other like defensive marks or anything else like crazy.
No. Does not look like there was much of a struggle. If this was so this wound could have been fatal. It just looks like it might have taken longer to bleed out than like what looks like instant death here kind of deal.
Yeah.
If someone attacked him, it probably would have been like a stealthy attack from behind kind of deal. Like there wasn't a struggle.
And I don't see anything like in his mouth, any like discoloration or anything like crazy.
No, he was only found like less than an hour ago though.
Right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
As Poofers is running around, she telepathic messages to you guys, and she's like, guys, if the conductor thinks that Hugh is a person, why wouldn't he be suspicious of him? He was
Why would
found
he be
over the
suspicious
body.
of you?
Is
Also,
there all in-
he was suspicious of Hugh. If you recall, when the body was found, the conductor was yelling about how could like Hugh do this and stuff like that. He was freaking out, but
Oh my gosh.
the Caw had directed everyone to go back to the room so they could perform the investigation.
Where's Hugh? We have to find Hugh.
Maybe these guys are all in cahoots.
Cahoots.
Now that I think about
Oh,
it, finding Hugh, can I locate object on Hugh? It is an object.
He had
Is
his
he, though?
dog.
You do.
We have your dog. This is meta, but our DM is looking up if I can locate it or not, which is making me sketch.
No, I was just looking at the rules of the spell because there are some spells that deal with the degree of familiarity you have. This is not one of them.
Are you kidding me? I had drinks with Hugh. I know Hugh.
No, I was just looking
We
because
read
like
his
it'll.
journal. We know his inner thoughts.
Excuse me for checking the rules. Jesus. Yes, you can locate him. He is farther north in the train.
Let's get here.
How far out? Okay,
Is he
so
cooking?
that's fine. We did our job here. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe off the dog, and I'll be see
Actually,
Fluffy's fine.
check the rules. The spell can't locate any object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks a direct path. There's lead in the train. So
Is there
just letting
lead
you
in the
know.
train?
Very
Of course there's
unsafe,
lead in
and
the
I feel
train.
like if they're so
No.
technologically advanced, they would know not to use lead in
There
it.
isn't, but
Lead
those
is
are the
bad
kind of
for you.
those are the kind of details we look for when we check the rules. You see? Okay. Poofers, you just barge out of the room.
I guess so. I'm like, I'm not a murderer. See the Pomeranian, and I just leave the room.
And they all look
We're
at the
going.
Pomeranian and say, "The dog is not dead? Then what was the purpose of all of this?" And they gather up and start to chatter, and they say, "Did you see the one with the calves who saved the dog?
Happy to do it.
It is very suspicious, though, that the outsiders have been involved in so many murders and revivals." And they continue that sort of chatter. And you guys can all sneak out of the car. No one knows where Magnus
Hey guys, I had a thought too.
Are you still invisible?
Yeah.
Who said
sure.
that?
Sure. I'm telepathic. So I had a thought. If we need to fight them, just not saying that we're going to, but if we need to fight these birds, we need to get some like bubbly water or some Alka-Seltzer. I have a plan.
Okay, I don't know where we're gonna find. Maybe they have like those little press things to
You never know.
like get the water bubbling.
Tempest
My
says, "Well, they
beer
are
is lightly
pacifists."
carbonated. Just saying.
Right?
You plan on harming the pacifist birds.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
And
Just-
Lock, who has been here with you the whole time. It's like, why do you guys keep getting really quiet all of a sudden?
We're just thinking really hard.
Deep thoughts.
That's very interesting. Maybe I should try meditating like that more.
Do you
could
have
maybe
any?
solve more murders?
Do you have any new thoughts with the information we have gathered, Lock?
Well, it's very interesting that the cause seems so hostile to you as outsiders, though I can't say they're necessarily to blame. You did lead them on a wild bird chase.
And Goose is the bird. You could have just left it open.
I know, but I didn't think about that till after I said it. And then, on top of that, you did cause a lot of mess and destruction in there unnecessarily.
Yeah, but I do that all the time.
Yes, which
Nobody
is
was
interesting,
harmed.
because the outsiders are known for this sort of reckless behavior that causes trouble for no reason.
Well, also, I think I'm a little bit of an outlier. I tend to cause a lot of messes wherever I go. It's just a feature of me. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a feature of outsiders. We're not all like me, trust me.
I want to, really I do, but it's just so suspicious. On top of
Well,
that,
let's go find Hugh.
with the Pomeranian being kidnapped, you were all with me, so you definitely weren't behind that. However, maybe there's more than one criminal on board.
Well, if it's the Union or the cause working together, then they could easily work as a group. They already know each other.
Also, I'm sure the conductor has many ways to get around the train fast, not to mention that every bird here is capable of magic.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer for us.
Don't worry, we're generally very peaceful.
Lock, what magic can you do?
Oh, well, I'm still just a child, so I can only do the most basic levels of magic. And he holds up his little wings, and he says, "Watch this!" And a little little cantrip produced flame occurs. There's like a little flame over his.
Thought it was gonna cast like power word kill or something like that. Basic magic.
You're all dead. There's an explosion. He says, "Yeah, but we try not to focus on the destructive magic so much as the creative magics. That's part of why I'm going to see my grandpa. He's very good at magic, and he's going to help teach me." And by the way, when he cast that, he like whistled a little bird song. I can't whistle very well.
That was very cute.
Is it possible that there's multiple passengers that are enchanted and they think that Hugh is real?
What if there's more than one Hugh?
What if the dog did it to himself?
The dog could
The
have
dog got on the crane
What
and
if the dog's a murderer?
Yeah, I pulled the dog up in front of my face. I'm like, tell me what you did. Stares blankly at me.
Yeah.
Wait. Lock, make that flame again.
Are you going to threaten the dog with my fire?
No, I'm just very impressed.
I don't trust you.
Yeah, it's going
He
around.
learns quickly. All right, let's go.
There's a
let's
reason
go find
I'm
Hugh.
Lock, kid detective.
And I'd like to look for any signs of spiders along the way while we're trying to get to Hugh.
Yiders.
So you
Yeah.
head north in the direction of Barry's locate object. Pass through the residential cars. Stop by your room, and you do see a couple spiders hanging out in there. Kind of nowhere else in the train though.
Any identifiable features on the spiders?
There are
Wait.
several black.
Hey, Barry.
widows.
You wanna ask them what they're up to? The spiders?
sure, yeah, definitely. The other thing as well is where did these spiders come from exactly? Did we get planted with something?
Ask them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're controlling us or imitating us somehow. This seems related to the lady who we just screwed over. The god, you know?
Lol. The brain spiders. Okay, yeah. I'll I don't know what sound spiders make, but I'll talk to the spiders.
Are you using your racial feature?
Yes. Was it
They can understand the
speech?
meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return.
Yep.
So you have advantage to all charisma checks you can make to influence them, but you can't understand them.
Okay.
Take me to your leader.
That's kind of where I'm going with that. I am going to tell them to go where they came from.
You go back where he came from.
What kind of are you
Like, as in, like,
them? Are you
no.
asking them
I'm
to
asking them. No. I'll be persuasive. I'll say there's juicy flies back where you came from.
Okay. Can you roll persuasion with advantage then?
Sure.
By the way, time is passing, and you only had not that much time to solve this murder. So.
That is a 24.
They kind of like seem to get like excited at the mention of things to eat, but aren't really able to go where you're directing them to.
Okay. So they're just kind of there.
Magically summoned, maybe.
Yeah, probably. What was the other thing that Troy you mentioned? There was something else.
It all had to do with talking, communicating with them, so I think that was out the window.
I'd like to search our room for any kind of like glyphs or like anything that looks like it was written as kind of a summoning ritual or something funky.
Roll
I do
investigation.
want to look at these spiders too to see
Roll one.
Investigation.
that if these spiders did have like very identifiable markings or something like that we could maybe see in the future.
17.
Okay. 17. This room is spectacularly clueless.
That's not helpful.
Apart
You're
from
like,
the spiders.
you need to solve this murder faster. There are no clues.
Well, I think that means
everything-
there's nothing here for us. Maybe we should go try and find Hugh.
Everything that you're finding or not finding is intentional. With the markings, they look like to be normal black widows. However, you know a goddess who is particularly associated with spiders, especially
That
the
doesn't
deadly
like us
ones,
very much.
and leads a matriarchal society. So,
I
black
turned to Lock
widows.
Lock and I'm like, hey Lock Lock, do
Hi.
you remember that story that I told you about the spider lady?
Oh, sure. It was very scary.
Yeah, she doesn't like us very much, and I'm
Have you
wondering.
angered a goddess?
I think we did. And I'm wondering if these
Like
spiders
spiders.
around here are her doing something funky.
Well, it did sound like you crossed her quite meanly, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone as awful as her was angry at you and trying to seek vengeance by possessing you and making you murder people. But that doesn't mean it's not your fault. It just means that you still murdered someone because you angered a goddess.
See, now if we're possessed, does the possessee kill people or does the possessor kill people?
Well, the blood is still on your hands because you incurred the possession in the first place.
But on her spiritual and metaphorical hands. And which is really more important?
And on top of that, even if you were possessed, what would stop you from being possessed again? Wouldn't it be safer to lock you up?
I look at everybody and I'm like, are any of you possessed? Would you tell me if you were possessed?
The dog barks. No, just kidding.
Oh,
All right, let's just go find Hugh.
Hugh is in the next cart, in the social cart, and he's got a drink right here.
He's under a bridge smoking a cigarette.
Is there anything I'm just gonna look Hugh up and down. I'm gonna look behind him. I'm gonna, see if there's any scratch marks made on him. Anything weird.
Okay.
Does dispel magic work in like an area, or does it work on a particular thing?
I believe it works in an area, but I have to double check. If you choose to
I
cast
would
that.
like to see how Hugh is holding a drink.
The drink is taped to his hand.
Oh my god.
Looking around him very carefully, he is spectacularly clueless.
I
Is
look
that this?
deep into his cardboard eyes, like deep.
They
I want to
seem
see and feel his emotion,
they seem empty, and lifeless, almost like you were
just like a psychopath.
painting
Like
on
a
piece of
murderer.
paper. It's at this point that you hear the conductor's voice over an intercom, and he says, "We're approaching the city. We might want to get things together quite fast here. Let's have everyone gather at the main social car so we can continue on here." And very slowly, everyone comes together, including
In
all
the
of
car that we're already in.
Yeah, apart from the
Great.
Kenku's in the back of the engine, everyone gathers, and the conductor says, "All right, so we're approaching the city. We have to make a decision pretty quick. Carl, what have you found?" And the Ka say, "Unfortunately, our investigation has not reached a conclusive state. We will just have to detain everyone here." And the conductor says, "Well, that's just not reasonable. As soon as we stop the train, the murderer is sure to escape. Now, I've seen you all lot been doing some investigating. Now, who do you think it is? Who do you think did this? Surely you have an answer by now."
I point at you.
Who do you think is going to be the jailbird?
Well, it's a
Oh,
little
dude.
bit unusual that the code used on the crane is one of the questions. Who is asking me questions of the Ka?
I think they all look the exact same.
Yeah,
They
well, I'm
look
trying. Yeah,
identical.
no one's gonna say anything.
No. Actually, I'm gonna change the location of this meeting back to the room with the body and the cargo. Sorry,
Hmm.
that was where it was supposed to be, but I missed.
So we pulled Hugh with us, I guess.
Oh, we
Yeah.
definitely pulled Hugh with us.
I'm not letting Hugh
Or
out of
did
my
we?
side at this point.
Okay. But you have found all of the evidence available to you,
Or his little dog.
and you must make a decision.
So, here's what we've got. We know that the Pomeranian, the little dog, was tied up in the crane room. Instead of helping, the Koo crew, who clearly knew how to cuckoo-cuckoo that crane, did not help at all. That to me is very suspicious. If you can murder a cardboard Pomeranian, who says you can't murder a diplomat?
It's a slippery slope.
Feel like the Union might be on a killing frenzy. They do have good motive. They don't want outsiders here killing the outsider. It's a good way to keep people away, or a good way to bring war to your country. However, the conductor, I turn to the conductor,
Me.
wants tourism, and perhaps he's interested in the special kind of death tourism that brings people from all around to solve the mystery.
While this is happening, I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
Okay.
So within
That is a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
let's see here.
Just
You
start
create a
throwing
magical
wild
zone.
accusations.
Yeah. You create a magical zone, 15-foot radius sphere, centered around a point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts must make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, charisma. Okay.
On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie.
All right,
And the players are, I am aware if the creature succeeds or fails.
Okay. You can also choose to fail. The party can roll if they want to. I'm gonna roll for the groups, so like all of the Ka will roll together. So that's Lock, the Koo Crew, the Ka, Click Clack, and Hugh. Hugh fails automatically. What's the
I
DC?
knew it.
What's the DC?
Let me see here. Charisma 16.
Okay, Lock failed. The crew fails. I think most of them will fail.
I still think it's Lock.
Ka passes. And the conductor fails also. I think that's everyone, right?
So
Yeah.
the only group that can lie is the Ka.
Yes. And the party. Unless they all choose to fail.
Do you guys want to?
You can't.
I
I think you
guess
can't
I'll-
lie to the best of your knowledge. It's not like if
Well,
you
not
don't.
only that, the person that's gonna verify, even if it's
Wisdom.
it's charisma 16, and the person that's gonna verify is me. I'm the one that knows if it's a lie or not.
No, I'm saying like it doesn't work. Like if you don't know the answer to a question, you're not forced to speak the right answer.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like if you don't know,
You can't give
say it.
knowledge that you don't have.
Yeah.
And then, just so you know, I am wearing my ring of truth telling, so I have advantage on insight checks.
Okay. You have to roll insight to do that. So
Yeah, just
I like how
ready.
no one rolled insight this entire time on anyone.
We're not very good investigators.
Well, we remembered
Well, now
now.
they're all here. Yeah.
So I'd like to continue my tirade. The conductor also has certainly ways to get about this train that is not known to the rest of us. Meanwhile, Lock would like to solve a mystery, and what better way to make your name than to solve a murder mystery that he created himself and pin it on the on the innocent outsiders.
Oh, sorry. I had to roll for Giovanni too. He failed. Just to like make sure all of our bases are covered. Cause he auto fails because he's dead. So
The password to the Caw Claw was also known to the Caws, who were interrogating Baron before any of this even happened. They used one of the answers that Baron gave them as the answer to the Claw password, which is quite suspicious if they were the ones to string him up there. Who am I missing? And Hugh! It was probably Hugh. And it could have been us, actually. We could have been possessed by an evil spider goddess. We don't know. We
You
don't
missed
know
Giovanni.
anything. Giovanni could have killed himself because he was very afraid of birds, and you all stressed him out a lot.
So you've made your choice then.
there's one thing you should know: never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
So, everybody,
Your
Why
logic
are
is
you
truly
innocent?
dizzying.
Well, that was a lot of accusations that you just threw around.
Would you
Um,
care to dispute them?
Sorry, I was dealing with something. Okay. So that was a lot for one person to remember at once. Why don't we go through these one at a time and try and discuss them more thoroughly? Who would you like to accuse first?
you,
Me, the conductor Click-Clack. Why,
you the conductor, Click-Clack.
I've been driving the train except for my rounds. Why would I ever wish harm upon any of my guests, let alone such an important one who's going to bring all sorts of tourists from the mainland?
But would it be
Inside.
as many tourists as if it was a ghost story where the diplomat was mysteriously killed?
Now, I'm all one for the murder mystery dinner game. It's great fun with friends and family, but it's not this kind of train. We are a passenger train. We are a professional business. We wouldn't stoop to such lowly, despicable means to bring in business.
I like to roll insight to see if he is bullshitting us.
Okay?
He can't lie as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Deliberately lie.
Oh,
But you do have ways of getting
you're right.
around the
Hold on.
train.
Let me double check all of my words, because I did forget about that momentarily. Oh. Okay, that's fine.
Partial lie.
I don't think he said
My-
anything definitive, so
Insight check remains.
okay. You have to roll it. Yeah. Oh, she froze a little bit. You learned nothing.
So, you have ways of getting around the train, and you also admitted to us that you had a round during the time where the murder could have occurred. What were you doing during that time, and why wouldn't you see him?
Oh, well, I can't say I rightly remember every single event that happened on my rounds, but as far as I can recall, it was just a normal, back and forth down the train.
So you have blank periods of missing
wasn't-
time is what you're saying.
No, I wasn't doing rounds the entire hour this could have happened.
Can anybody verify that?
Did you just cast a spell that means that I have to tell the truth?
Yes.
Yeah, he can't tell a definitive lie.
Hmm.
I whisper to Poofers, why don't you just start pointing at people saying, did you do it?
I mean, you can do that.
Okay, I'm just gonna start pointing at people like left to right in this cone of truth. Did you do it or know who does? Looking for yes and no answers.
I don't think anyone's gonna answer this.
They don't have.
Like, are they
What do you
going to
mean?
stay silent or say, I don't know? What are they going to do?
They are going to say, you ask, did I do this? In turn to everyone. They will all say no. They will all say no. There we go. Yes.
All of them will say no, but there is one that's allowed to lie.
Hmm.
Just to make sure, just for clarity, because I know our DM can be specific sometimes. When he's saying, did you do this? Specifically, we're talking about the murder.
Did you murder Giovanni?
Yeah, if you say
Yeah.
this, you're gonna have to say, like,
I
Did you
knew it, our specific
Okay.
DM. Yeah.
they still say no.
Okay. Well, that
Do
breaks
you
down
know
a bunch
who
of people.
murdered Giovanni?
Did she freeze?
No,
Can't
I'm
tell.
thinking. I'm thinking about how to answer this.
She looked like she froze.
This is a very difficult spell for me to be doing because you're breaking a lot of the fundamental mystery behind this. So I don't appreciate that.
Sorry.
Do you know who did it? They will all declare uncertainty.
Okay. Alright, that keeps things vague, so then we still need to break it down then. And we're running out of time.
Turn to Lock and I say, Lock, who do you think did this?
Well, it really could have been any of them. They all have strong motives, but
That's what I'm saying.
if anyone, it's odd to me that everyone said they didn't kill Giovanni, yet here he is dead.
Well, the Ka, and I turn to the Ka, can lie because they failed their check or succeeded on their check. So
Well, sure, but that doesn't
theoretically,
mean they did lie.
it doesn't mean that they did lie, but it means that they could lie, whereas everybody else could not lie. So everybody else, therefore, did not kill Giovanni, but they might have.
Did
Or
someone
maybe
say...
Giovanni killed himself.
I was just going to
He
say...
may have, yes.
Didn't someone say also that it could be more than one group? Who suggested that?
That was
What if
indeed
they all
me.
did it?
Did
What?
any of you poison Giovanni?
They all say no.
Intentionally or unintentionally?
They all say no.
Would it be in the interest of the Ka and Giovanni that maybe Giovanni was very not happy, and in turn he's working with the Ka, and that would add up because they were asking those questions like 3.14 before Giovanni was dead? Maybe Giovanni and the Ka are working together, or did the Ka kill Giovanni? There was also that the cut was not very deep, so that means that Giovanni may have not stopped himself from dying.
He could have just slit his own throat because he's on that train full of birds and he doesn't want to be here. And also, I think we know that he had
He
a letter
really didn't like
opener
birds.
because all of his letters were opened with a letter opener.
Hey, I whisper to the group. Maybe those smarter than I can think of a question aimed at spiders and that relationship right now with Cone of Truth going. 'Cause
Have
we're still
any of you
forgetting.
seen spiders anywhere but our room on this train?
I mean, they would have seen it in the hallway outside your room, potentially, as well as, I think that there were a couple in the cargo room as well. in this cargo room.
Lock answered that he didn't do it either, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone here see Giovanni heading to the cargo room right before he was killed?
Thinking through these one by one. I believe the coup crew had mentioned at some point they saw him down there. Lock saw your entire group, including Giovanni, leave. I think that the conductor also said that he saw you guys down there. Yeah, the coup crew had seen you in the cargo room with Giovanni. And I think everyone else would say no. Yep.
I am most suspicious of the coup crew at this point.
But the 314
Is
code
human.
seems kind of weird.
Actually alive in any way?
They all say he is a guest.
I'm just gonna do it. Okay, Hugh, did you murder Giovanni?
You get a blank.
Okay.
Can yeah, they keep saying he's a guest. Can who specifically is saying that? Because I know that there was like
The conductor has
no,
said
it was the president. The president of the union said that it was a piece of cardboard, right?
He also said it was a guest, though. He
Well,
he
even-
said both.
Yeah, that's same with even Click Clack. When I was talking to him, went back and forth on that.
Yeah.
At one point, he said he's a piece of wood, and then he referred to him as a guest.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on like the group to see if anything happens?
The train's
Look up
gonna
the
stop.
rules.
Specifically
Yeah,
the
that's
ones that are
actually-
not running the train.
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Okay,
So
so,
you
we
have
have to
to-
pick. Yeah, we have to pick one. Who do we?
I vote for the coup crew.
Well, it has to be one.
Well, yeah, but I feel like if you do
But
something
the
to one of
collective
them, it's
is
going to be
fine, yeah.
apparent.
Okay. On the coup crew,
Not the
huh?
caw?
I mean, yeah, the con, not the coup crew. Sorry, there's so many bird names.
Because they all have magic, which and it's
Every bird
musical,
has
it's
magic.
bardish, so it's kind of like they could be manipulating others into thinking that they're real. Yeah, the Ka. Are we good with that?
I'm down.
Are we nodding?
I mean,
Okay.
they're the only ones that technically can lie to us at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
mean,
cast
there's
Dispel Magic
always
on
been
the
shape.
Ka.
We're pulling out every last trick. in the book.
It's apparent that they're magic, like they're affected by the disappearance of magic for a short time.
Like, does it break
Oh, I have to make an
concentration on
ability
anything
check,
manipulating?
I'll have to make a check. Rolling plus. And it DC plus the spell's level. Are you casting it at 3rd level?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, they failed.
No, I was.
They failed anyway. Well, it's a 3rd level spell, so you have to cast it that or higher.
Yeah.
It is apparent that they're affected by the disappearance of their magic for a short time, but you don't see any change in status in the room.
Did
Unlike they were casting anything.
did Giovanni leave anyone any kind of parcel or letters, like a note?
The only thing that you recall is the letter from his mother.
Did that letter say anything in it specifically?
No one read it.
Can we read the letter?
Yeah, it says that he would rather die than have to deal. It's a response to him saying he would rather die than have to deal with the bird people.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
What if they all did it together? And they're all in
Like-
Kahoot.
Suicide pact.
Cahoots, nice.
What if he
built
inspiration.
on- I built
did
on
it to
Quick's puzzle.
himself?
That's what it sounds like. There's a suicide note. The wound wasn't super deep, which means that he could have been saved if he wanted to.
Did it look like hesitation marks?
No. No. I'm not really sure what that means.
So then did we
He
want
was
to
hesitant
assume
to
that
do
this
it
is
himself.
a suicide? I don't understand why he would leave his cabin to do it, though.
Maybe he didn't want many people to find his body, scare them.
I feel like fewer people would find it in his private room, though.
Now,
Actually, as Aravia recalls, the boxes seem to have been moved around.
Somebody tried to display this in the cargo room.
now, a thought is, this is telepathic, is kind of like Poofers are saying is, what if it's not just one or two people in cahoots, but literally everybody? They knew he was going to commit suicide. They did this whole thing, and the entire train was about this to increase tourism and everything like that because of the almighty dollar. Or
But then where do the spiders come into it? Why do we have spiders in our cabin?
we pissed off a lot of gods.
Maybe she's
I
just
wonder
trying
if-
to send Black Widows after
You know what
him.
I'm saying?
I wonder if Giovanni was a follower of Wolf.
That's interesting. Did we
What
find
if-
anything in his letters about that or his
Can we
journal?
No,
Any
there's
other
no
letters we
indication
didn't
of that.
open?
No,
What
there's
if
no
he
indication.
did it himself and they just took advantage of the situation by staging the body?
They could
Well,
have
'cause what I
dragged, yeah,
wonder-
staged.
Because the crew doesn't want outsiders here. And what better thing to blame the outsiders the outsiders killed them.
And this is
Well-
in storage, right? So does that more than likely not many passengers are going to go into storage, right? So there's only a
Found
certain
the
amount.
body in storage.
Yeah.
Orange sauce.
Well, so if that's the case, then does that mean that passengers wouldn't have access to storage, right? Initially.
They theoretically could if they wanted to like put something back there, but it wouldn't be like a common practice per se.
I'm
You'd,
just
like,
trying to
mostly
think
drop them, like, off
who
your
would
room.
be in there before the screams, before a lot of people would show up.
As a race, do they have the ability to do this? Like, well, one, they talk about being a peaceful race, like, so. I mean,
Yeah, so
that goes
if they
outside
found
of
him
their-
dead in his car, they didn't murder him, but they can move the body. That's not violent. You're just working with a dead
Well-
corpse. And then it benefits literally everybody on the train if they were to stage the body.
Did
And you're
any
just
of you move Giovanni's dead body?
Then you're
Here's a-
just
well,
an accessory after
here's a
that.
thought: Can they hold a letter opener with their bird feathers?
That's just insulting.
It's a legitimate
This is all.
question.
This is all.
That's a fair question.
Do they have the?
You built a fucking train.
Yeah, by singing.
So-
I
They can
got
just
you
sing their
there.
letters open. Alright, well, my best guess is that the Caw moved the body and can lie about it. And it benefits everybody else. I think Giovanni killed himself. The Caw moved the body. And
to
everybody is
frame
just
us.
okay with that. And we got framed for the mystery. And we were just drunk for an hour, which totally seems like something we could do.
So you
Side-
are. Cut.
No, it's
So
his letter
that sounds
opener.
like-
He has a letter back from his mom where he admitted that he'd rather die than be on this bird island.
We have
The last thing is
confidence in
where did the whole Pomeranian come into play with the Pomeranian trying to be killed?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It could have been to distract us from something,
But then they also
To-
knew 314.
but it could have been to buy time. Because if we didn't solve this mystery by the time that the train gets in, we're just going to be held up. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably the Caw.
Have you guys made your decision?
I think it's the Caw, but nobody really minded that they did it.
Okay. So you are accusing the Caw of the murder, essentially, Or
Yes. For all of the reasons we just said.
so everyone turns to the car, and let's put on something more exciting. Oops, not that one. Go. Maybe this one actually. There we go. So you turn to the car and you say, "It was you for all the reasons we just said," and everyone in the room turns over to them with a. The conductor's gasp is notoriously, or rather not notoriously, is distinguishably Scottish in nature.
Gasp is Scottish.
And the car look around, surprised, and then say, "How were you able to figure it out?" And then one of them walks over to Giovanni's body and places the letter opener, which they can't pick up, back in his hand. And his eyes fly open. And he sits up and sees everyone in the room around him, and he says, "This wasn't part of the plan. What happened?" And they say, "They discovered the truth, and we were not going to go down alone."
Oh.
Oh.
Giovanni, what is going on? He's also in the zone of truth, by the way.
Yeah.
And he failed.
No, he failed when he was dead. He gets to make a new one.
Oh. Boo.
Could you do this to Hugh?
Oh, he failed anyways.
It's
wow,
time
I
to
feel
fess up.
Suddenly compelled to speak only truths. It's very uncomfortable. Not something I'm accustomed to as a politician and ambassador. Listen, it was clear that the society wasn't in favor of outsiders establishing relations, and I myself am not interested in seeing this out either. It was of mutual interest to stage something to deter any kind of relations to be made. It didn't hurt anyone. It was just a simple cast of feigned death.
You framed
hurt
us.
Us. You framed us.
I didn't
And
frame you.
threw
What are you
us
talking
under
about?
the- We were the ones supposed to protect you, and you went and killed yourself fakishly.
You would have been fine. You're wardens. No, you can do no harm. You're forgiven for any transgression. You're above the law.
That's
I mean, a little
not-
bit.
I
You kidding me?
telepathically say,
How often
"Let's
do we get
take
in trouble?"
this sorry SOB back and explain everything."
I'd
That
like
sounds
to
about
ask.
right.
I'd like to ask him about the spiders.
What spiders?
She's just trying to mess with us. You're gonna be finding spiders under your butt cheeks for weeks.
Listen,
Damn ass
you have
spiders.
to go anywhere. If it's really, if this is what it comes to, I can see the job out. It's just they're surrounded by these things, and all the Kenkua look at each other like insulted, and the Kara say, "Well, this is an unfortunate development. We did not predict the outsiders would be so capable at detective work."
He
And
called us
Locklock
people.
says, and Locklock says, "Not without my help, Locklock, kid detective."
Locklock, you did almost nothing to help us.
Hey, I pointed out a few of the motives and led you in the right direction from the start.
That's true. You did give us people to investigate at the start, and then you were fairly useless for the rest of the thing.
Hey,
Good
I
job,
noticed
Locklock.
several things. I'm the one who pointed out it could have been more than one person.
True. And you were correct.
We appreciate your
No.
help, Locklock.
The conductor comes up and he says, "All right, what do you want to do with all of these pesky wrongdoers? These bunch of pecknecks,
So what?
pecknecks."
Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of a law society you guys have going on here. Do you have bird trial and all that kind of stuff?
Bird law.
We could leave it to the king, but you know, your friend here does make a point. If this is just brushed under the carpet, then we can continue on with opening relations as soon as possible. Trying
Well,
to
I
get
think
trade
we need
going, visitation.
We need a new ambassador, though, right? Because this guy's clearly not going to do it. We have to go tell our king about that.
Giovanni says, I mean, if you don't tell the king that I did anything, I'll make sure everything goes well.
Is he lying? Because he's not
in the
allowed
zone of
to.
truth, he cannot lie.
You have no intent of making. Well, I don't know.
Conductor says,
I'm not really into it.
It took some years to get things even this far. Who knows what will happen if word gets out about, a pesky group who's trying to stop this kind of stuff. There will be all new sets of precautions and hesitations and all of that.
Do we want to huddle real quick? Telepathic message?
Telepathic
We're an
huddle.
odd bunch
We're just gonna
who
get-
huddle together and do nothing but think.
We can talk and think at the same time. We're good at this.
Multitaskers.
Yeah. I can drink with two hands. I can talk and think.
So here's the thing. I think that this island is fine without trade for another couple of years, if it even takes that long. Giovanni is a bad egg.
I agree. And if the Call have already tried to do this with Giovanni once, who knows what the Call will try and do with us or say to the king to manipulate the situation.
So what we can do then is, I think, take Giovanni back with us, say he had a stomach ache and had to go back home, and then, we don't have to reveal that any of this happened. We can let them handle it on their side, and then we'll get tell the king what happened, get him to send a new ambassador in a year or two, and everything should run smoothly.
And what should we tell our king? Or Ken King?
Well, we're telepathic talking right now, right?
Yeah, we're
sorry.
talking.
Sorry, my bad.
How did
Wow.
you get
So
in this
interested.
conversation? This is a closed channel.
Okay, so group vote, we take Giovanni
We're
back.
definitely taking Giovanni back. What do we want to do about their side of things? Do we want to let them choose what to do? I feel
I
like the
think
car not trustworthy.
The conductor is trustworthy and that he should be in charge of relaying the message that we had to leave.
Why don't we just ask him what he thinks?
And we all turn to him at the same time in a really creepy fashion. We're like,
Talk to the king ourselves.
so what would you do with the car?
Oh, well, they are our law enforcement, so it's kind of on them to form their own punishment. I could try and bring it up to the king, but their word carries heavier than mine.
I say telepathically, I think we're going to run into a serious problem. Even if we go back, the Kaw may try and sabotage negotiations again. I almost feel like it may be best to try to control Giovanni into going forward with the talks.
I mean, we do have good blackmail against him, right? You know, the second that we say anything, his life is over back on the mainland for what he tried to pull. Also, he has to go through the eternal torture of living on Bird Island for the rest of his days.
And we are completing the mission.
What do you think, Magnus?
Well, I think kind of what you were saying as punishment to him is basically doing this job already, right? And he can't lie, so he's saying he's going to try to do the best of his ability, which maybe that's how he feels currently, so it's not a lie, but, 2 hours later, he might feel differently, right?
All I know is this,
we
we can't commit violence against Kenku, but we can definitely commit violence against this guy.
right.
You can commit violence against Kenku. It just might not work out for you later.
Also, what we could do is leave Giovanni here, go back, tell the king what happened, and kind of that there's this weird farce stuff going on, and he should probably send a replacement as soon as he can, because then Giovanni's already in position, and he can hopefully get rid of before.
We do also have
Yeah.
Warden Com, by the way.
We're working for the king. We can
Well,
tell
wouldn't
them.
it be pertinent if we communicate with back at Warden HQ about what's going on, so that there's kind of like a paper trail?
Sure,
Yes.
call Harvey up to
Transparency.
talk to Victoria.
Let's talk to Victoria, explain the situation, and ask what they would like us to do.
And we all shuffle as a
something
group
that we
into
ever-
a corner.
Really
Oh, yeah,
do.
didn't we get in trouble for
Yeah.
not
This is
not
a-
including leadership last
Yeah.
time? Let's do
Um,
that.
You won't get in trouble for this. They'll leave it to your judgment. For the sake of me making you choose.
Then I say we move forward. Make this guy do it.
Move forward,
Make
go
this
tell on
work.
him when we
Make-
get back.
I move
yeah.
forward. Make
Just-
this work and establish
Wait.
this.
So if we go forward, are we telling the king what the call did? Since they're the police force here?
I think we should tell our king kind of what's going on. Let him make a decision if he wants to let it stay as it is or make a big fuss about it later. But we should let Giovanni go forward for right now.
We should go forward. We should keep an eye on the call, and if things get out of hand, then we need to act.
Well, how are we going to keep an eye on them? We're not here forever.
Well, I think that we should go with the ambassador. I guess I'm disagreeing with you. I think we should.
I don't understand. My plan is to go forward for right now, and then when we leave, naturally go tell the king what's going on, and he can send a new ambassador unknown to
Yeah.
Giovanni.
But we still need to keep an eye on the call. So yes, we agree.
Okay. So we're moving forward with Giovanni, and we'll tattle on him when we eventually get back home.
Yes.
Okay. The conductor says, "Well, I can't say I'm unhappy with your decision. It's definitely in many of our interests to get this going as fast as we can. I'll try and speak to the king about the call, but as I said, they really, kind of have they're the law of the land here, and the call kind of are like, they're like doing their like jittery movements that they always do, as they're listening to all of this. Well, we're just about in the city. Would you like to accompany us to court then, or what would you like to do?"
I mean, I guess we should probably still accompany Giovanni since that's our job.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Deliver him to the king.
Okay. So do you like rough Giovanni up or anything? Do you just put it like? Do you use? I think one of you has handcuffs.
Magnus.
A mean stink guy.
Magnus, I think you're up, Magnus. I think go ahead and I'm gonna turn my back and be like, time to intimidate.
I want
Okay.
a 0 to 10.
Notched
What
it up
a-
to like an 8.
Like telepathic, don't beat him up. Just let him know that
Do
He
your
doesn't
best scary
mess with
demon
us
guy.
again.
Yeah, there are lots of birds here also, many of whom have a negative opinion of outsiders. So
So let's talk to him in his room.
all
Hey,
right,
bud. Giovanni, get up.
he stands up obediently, a little
Force him
scared.
up. Like, let's take a walk.
Let's like.
All right, walk into our room.
I'm gonna
Okay,
go to the social area and drink because
All right.
I
Does
don't
that
necessarily
work out?
condone this, but it's a good thing.
Lock will follow you. We'll follow Buren. Where is everyone else going?
I'm gonna go hang out with Barry and Lock.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Erevar?
You don't want to see what happens in that room.
I shall also go with Barry and Luck, but I am not going to drink because I will no longer be drinking on this island.
Magnus.
No more
how
tequila.
How bad are you hurting this man?
So, I'm actually not physically hurting him.
Okay.
Um,
Your mother never loved you.
I'm going to be pretty intimidating to the fact of almost like scary calm, you know?
I'm very
Oh.
disappointed in you.
I'm not done. Like, it's gonna be
No, I meant that's like what it's
Oh.
like. It's like I'm very disappointed in you.
yeah, no, it's gonna be more so of the fact of, so, you know, it's been a while since I've had to kill somebody, and I really don't want to do it again.
You don't have to. You don't have to do
And
that.
well, I'm not finished. And you know, I made a pact that said I didn't want to kill anybody, but you're really, really pushing that edge. And we're gonna let this one go. And you're gonna do your damn job. And I'm gonna be showing up all the time.
Yes, sir.
Might not see me. I'm gonna be showing up. And if I hear one step out of line, that cut in your throat is gonna be a cut in your fucking throat.
Yes. And he like literally like bursts into tears out of pure terror. You've broken this man. In the main car, as you're pulling into the station, Lock says to all of you, "Well, it was really great investigating with you. I'm sorry I accused you of murder, but you understand."
Do we?
It happens all the time.
Anyways, this will make a great report, and I'm sure it'll get me promoted at the Junior Detectives League.
Hey, Lock, can you use different names, please?
Oh,
Also,
sure.
maybe redact like everything I told you.
Like pseudonyms? Sure, yeah, I can do that. Protect your like witness protection. Okay.
Like
Sure, I can do
Larry and Loofers.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I have to get going now that we're at the station to go see my grandpa because he's waiting for me, but it was really great meeting all of you, and I hope you don't die in the future or whatever.
Oh my god,
Thanks, Luck.
watch his grandpa be the king.
Oh,
Damn
no,
it, Troy.
He's probably right.
Indeed, you see Lock after just disembark and head off in the direction of the palace.
Son of a
The
bitch.
conductor, after everything is said and done, shows you off the train and says, well, palace is in that direction. You can take the ambassador there. I'll be here minding the train if you need anything, but in the off event that I don't see you again, it was a pleasure being your conductor, and you're welcome on board anytime.
Thanks. Sorry, accused you of murder.
It happens every day. Just kidding.
You have an
I'm
amazing
still carrying
train.
Hugh with me, by the way,
Well,
and his Pomeranian, his little dog too.
well, I mean, I guess you can take him. Just treat him nicely. He's a sensitive guy. One of the best guests we've ever had. You're still carrying him with you. So you guys go to the palace with Giovanni, where you enter the Ken court, and at its head on the throne sits the Ken King, who is greeting his grandson, Lock. Let me change this around. He's greeting his grandson Lock, and this bird city, though you've only seen the very kind of edges of it, the outskirts, and barely brushed the surface, seems fairly enormous, and there are a lot of Kenkua here. The king, upon seeing you, and Lock whispers something to him, like points at you, stands up and pats Lock on the head before coming over. And he
I hope
says,
that was a good pat.
Ruh-roh.
it was a good pat. So he walks over with his gowns dragging behind him and his big crown on his Kenkua head, and says, "Well, welcome to the Ken Court. My name is King Kettle, and I hear that you've done some great work on the train up here. Really protected the ambassador great, and it's a pleasure to welcome you here."
Yep, definitely did a good job. That's what we do all the time, every time, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Every time.
Oh, is that him behind you?
Yeah, this is the guy.
And I
Great.
kind of give him
Well,
a gentle shove up forward.
and he stumbles forward, he's like kind of cowering a little, shaking a little bit. He's very scared. And the king whistles, and a few very official-looking Kenkua government officials come out and say, "Well, show him to the main boardroom, and we'll have a good discussion there. Make sure he's comfortable. Show him to a room and everything, and then we'll get started." And Giovanni is more or less dragged off to go begin his career as an ambassador here. King turns back to you and says, "Well, I assume you'll stay a few days. You have, free reign of the city. It's always exciting to welcome newcomers. I can't promise I'll be here if you need anything, but I'm sure one of my, attendants can help you out. As I said, you're free to see the city and bring back home marvelous tales of our beautiful, beautiful city.
That's very generous. Thank you. How long
Thank you.
are we supposed to stay here? That's kind of a question to everybody.
Thank you for your very generous hospitality.
Can you provide us with rooms for a few nights while we hang out and explore the city?
Of course, you're free to stay in one of our. I'm sorry, the best I can offer is just a branch of the servants' quarters, but they're quite nice. It's just all we have open right now.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much. You're very generous. All right.
Proofer's on her best behavior right now.
They told us to be on our best behavior when we started this quest.
Say that again?
That's true.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Alright, so with that, you have solved the murder on the Kenkua Express. Fun fact, no matter who you accused, you would have been correct. Which is why the clues were so vague. And with that, you have a few days in the Kenkua city of downtime should you choose to take advantage of that. Next time you'll be heading back to Redcliffe and observing what has gone on in the homeland.
That sounds
All I have.
ominous.
Oh man.
Huh. Okay. Little looming specter of foreshadowing there, but all right.
Yeah, everything is fine. Nothing is going to shit. Nothing.
Yeah, those spiders totally were just there for
Yeah, we just have a few days in
Yeah.
paradise. It's fine.
shit.
Yes.
Crap.
The calm
Okay.
before the giant storm.
Fun. Okay. Well, I suppose that's it. Thank you, any actor, for following, DJ Animatics, and thank you, Yukashas, for subscribing really early on in the stream. We'll be back next Sunday, which is, what is that, the 1st of November. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Bye.